San Diego much better at the big play down the field than Philadelphia's short passing game.
Gary Anderson will be kicking off for the Eagles. The Chargers won the toss, and the deep back on the return is Andre Coleman. He is in his second year out of Kansas State, and he is a very good one. We're on artificial surface here at the vet, and it's not one of the better ones, and we're set to go. And here it is. It'll take a hop and picked up at the 6-yard line by Coleman. He's to the 15, a little cut move to the left, across the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Stan Humphries of the San Diego Chargers. He is the quarterback, and he is a tough one. And now let's check out his offense. Now that is an offensive line that is a very good offensive line, but they haven't been together that much this year because of injuries. Backs and receivers. You'll notice that Alfred Papuno is not there. Ronnie Harmon is listed as the H-back. He may not be there, though.
Big deal when they go to the nickel, bring in Mark Say, but they're basically starting functionally in a 3-wide receiver with Harmon.
And here is Natron Means off to the left side. He is going to pick up 3 yards to the 25. It will be 2nd down and 7 as we just open the ball game. Defensively for the Eagles. And here is that front 4. And the rookie on the right side is Mike Mamulu, the #1 draft choice out of Boston College. And the linebackers in secondary, the safeties, Zordich and Jackson, they are tough. They've been together for a few years.
Taylor, the rookie, and Wilburn come in, but the guy that's going to get tested early and a lot today is going to be Derek Frazier on the corner. Played real soft first 2 weeks.
2nd down and 7. Humphries taking a lot of time. 3-step drop, pump fake, goes deep over the middle, and it is incomplete.
Well, it didn't take long for Stan Humphries and company to go after this Eagles defense with Harmon going straight up the field. Watch the double pump and the play action fake. A nice job right here by Humphries, looking off the safeties, but an excellent job by both safeties for Philadelphia, really not biting at all. Jackson and Zordich stayed with their responsibilities, and that's why they stopped that play.
With Alfred Papuno, the starting H-back, out with that ankle injury, we'll see Ronnie Harmon in there, and we will also see Shannon Mitchell. Then we'll see 4 wide at some time. 3rd down and 7. There's pressure. Has to dump it off. It's incomplete. Good defensive play by the Eagles. It was William Fuller, along with Mike Mamulu, putting the pressure on.
Well, the reason this happens is a great coordination and stunning by the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. Little rip inside. Mamula's coming inside. Fuller comes underneath. He's the big guy. He's really the enforcer type on this defensive line. A little later, we'll give you a chance to check out the guns on this guy. He has got some serious arms.
4th down. Bennett with the kick. Kmart, Kelvin Martin on the return from the 19. He's to the 25, 30, and it's nailed as he is squished at the 30-yard line. Dwayne Gordon was there. 56 yards on the punt, a 12-yard return, and Randall Cunningham, the quarterback for the Eagles. Here is their offensive line. The change is at right tackle. Lester Holmes, of course, is out. Antone Davis gets the call. Backs and receivers, well, the question, of course, is Randall Cunningham. Will he be here for the whole ball game?
Well, when they go into the nickel, too, for Cunningham, they bring in a 4-wide receiver offense. Not a whole lot down the field, though. The longest pass is over the middle, about 15, 20 yards for this offense.
Eagles start, first time on offense, and they start from their own 30-yard line, and Charlie Garner gets the call. So it's going to be Garner in the backfield along with Ricky Waters. We'll also see Fred McCrary because Kevin Turner is out. Let's check out now the defense. This is the front 4 of the San Diego Chargers, and they are a force, led by Leslie O'Neal. Backs and secondaries, well, they have 2 new men, Sean Gale and Bo Orlando. They're veterans, but they're new to the Chargers at the safeties.
Well, remember Ray Rhodes' background. Last year, San Francisco spent a lot of time studying those Super Bowl tapes. If he's going to test one position, or 2 in this case, it'll be the safeties with play action.
And here's the pitch to Waters. Looks for the corner right side. He does edge around it. He's going to pick up maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to be it to the 35-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 5 as the Charger defense strings him out, led by Sean Gale.
Well, not only is this a defense very strong inside with guys like Leon Davis, they're very strong on their responsibilities. Their coordinator, Dave Adolph, really stresses with these young defenders, and especially guys like Junior Seau, the sideline type of defense. They do that as good as anybody else.
Ricky Waters, Fred McCreary are the setbacks. And Cunningham to throw. Goes into the right flat, and it is incomplete. Calvin Williams, the intended receiver, so it is 3 and out as Terrence Shaw, the rookie from Stephen F. Austin. That's the matchup that they wanted, but it does not come through for the Eagles. They'll be kicking.
Terrence Shaw is a veteran's trapped in a rookie's body. Look at the play he makes. That is not pass interference. That's about as excited as I've ever seen a receiver get over not catching a ball. I don't know what Williams is begging for a flag, but that wasn't close. That was a fine play by that rookie corner Shaw.
Here's Tom Hutton, left-footed kicker. Andre Coleman is the return man for the Chargers. Pretty good kick. Good coverage. Taking it to 15. Bobble. One bounce, and he recovers it. He's had that problem all year long. 50 yards on the kick. We have no score. We'll step aside. We'll be back to the vet in a moment. Hello again, everybody. I'm Charlie Jones along with Randy Cross. Ball game started just the way we figured that it would start.
Well, we've seen what we really thought we were going to see. We've seen both teams trying to run the ball and pound it at the other defense, and we've seen the Chargers try to get down the field. They're going to do that inside with Harmon and outside, especially with Tony Martin off that great start he's had so far this year.
It's going to be a very tough ball game.
Oh, I think it's going to be a fabulous ball game of just basically offenses and defensive lines just trying to beat the crud out of each other.
For San Diego, their second possession, and this time they start at the 15-yard line. And here is Natron Means off the left side. Has a little bit of running room, and he is going to pick up 4 yards to the 19. It'll be 2nd and 6. Derek Frazier at defensive right corner moves up and makes the tackle for the Eagles.
Well, you want to talk about beating on somebody? You couldn't pick a better back in the NFL to have beaten on the other team than Natron Means. This is basically the old counter tray, using an H-back on the backside as a tackle. And when you've got 245 pounds on a 5'10" package heading downhill, you better hit him low.
And Shannon Mitchell is now the H-back for the Chargers. Pacuno out for the ball game. Here is Means again, and he leans in. He's going to get just a yard, and that is going to be it. It'll be 3rd down and 5 at the 20-yard line.
Well, that was a good case of just team defense by Philadelphia there. And, you know, Natron had that same problem in that opener against the Raiders. He had one long run for 35 yards, but other than that, the Raider defenders stuffed the offensive line of the Chargers at the line and got into the backfield, and he never got a shot to get on that downhill side.
Terrell Fletcher, the rookie from Wisconsin, taken in the 2nd round of the draft, is the remaining back. 4 wide receivers. He goes sideline and is incomplete. Sean Jefferson, the intended receiver. It'll be 4th down and 5, and the Chargers will be kicking for the 2nd time in the ball game.
Very simple. He just flat out should have had this ball. He still would have had to try to fight for a 1st down if he catches it, because he was just a little bit short. That's the Chargers trying to take advantage of a size matchup there, because McMillan is charitably listed at 5'7", probably 5'6", about 148 pounds.
He's vertically challenged. All right. Darren Bennett will be kicking. And another good one. Here's Kelvin Martin, the return man. Steps back to the 30-yard line. Running start, 45, 50. In the Charger territory, he'll be down at the 45, maybe the 44-yard line. Bo Orlando saves a touchdown. 26 yards on the return following a 50-yard kick. No score. Back in a moment. Cunningham deep over the middle, tipped. It is a diving interception for the San Diego Chargers. Terrence Shaw, no, they're going to rule it incomplete. He traps it on the turf.
That's a case of Randall Cunningham sort of feeling like maybe he's been challenged. How strong and how accurate can he be? Well, this is a case he's saying, I can throw this hard. He's just cranking that thing. That gets in the Williams' face, and you see that ball comes down on the ground. But, boy, that got on top of Williams. I mean, that looked like a Randy Johnson fastball right there. That thing was rising into the inside shoulder.
So it is 2nd down and 10 at the Charger 45-yard line. As Charlie Garner goes in motion, a look right, comes back left, and nails his receiver at the 40-yard line. Bo Orlando is there as he makes the tackle.
I talked to Randall Cunningham a little bit yesterday, and he made a statement to me that I found pretty telling as far as he goes. He says, you know, John Gruden and Ray Rhodes have given me a game plan that I can win with, I can move this team with. And if I don't do it, it's nobody's fault but my own. It's all my fault, and if they pull me, I should be on the bench. So, I mean, he's got a whole different attitude here in Philadelphia than he's had in the past.
And he has a 3rd down and 4 opportunity here with Ricky Waters, the remaining back, and 4 wide receivers. Sets up quick, throws over the middle, pass is caught, first down. He goes to Rob Carpenter. And Carpenter will pick up the first down. Junior Seau with the tackle. And that's the West Coast offense in action.
Oh, this is classic, you know, Sid Gilman, Bill Walsh passing, attacking this area right here in a defense. You worry about where your receiver is. You don't so much worry about the defense. What that takes, as you can see obviously there, you need a real tough receiver that's willing to take a crack, because you're going to get lots of cracks in there.
First down, 31-yard line is Ricky Waters. Waters straight up the middle. He'll go to the 27. That'll be 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Bo Orlando with the tackle. O'Neal also had a piece. Go ahead, Randy.
You know, Charlie, that's the same area that the Eagles attacked the Cardinals last week, where people least expect a small offensive line to get him. And Ray Rhodes got a great performance last week, specifically out of his guards and his center, Raleigh McKenzie. You know, he's got Panos, he's got Guy McIntyre, the veteran out of the 49er offense. He's got McKenzie. They go right into the gut, into the big, heavy tackles.
Kelvin Martin is in. 3 wide receivers is Ricky Waters. The remaining back, a little slip and slide near the 20-yard line. Should pick up the first down to the 20, and they'll spot it at the 20. And Terrence Shaw was the man who was wrapping him up.
Well, this is a case. This is really sort of a back off or quit by Ricky Waters at the end of this run. Watch his shoes kind of hydroplane when he goes to stop and make a cut right here. See that? Woo! A little slide and spray. He's trying to make a quick spin to get back inside. You know, he took a lot of grief after that opener. Alligator arm in those 2 passes to keep from taking hits, and he'll go out of his way to prove he's tough, I think, here at home today.
3 carries, 14 yards for Ricky Waters. First down, Eagles. 3-step drop, looks right, comes back left, almost intercepted. And Cunningham was decked by Leslie O'Neal. Orlando breaking it up. He was going for the interception, and Cunningham was off target, but he had all kinds of pressure as he looked up and saw Leslie O'Neal.
Well, the bottom line is they got Barrett Brooks, the rookie, 76, working against O'Neal. That ain't going to cut it, folks. They have got to get that young guy some help. Watch this matchup. That is just a physical whipping put on the young rookie by O'Neal. You better get a fullback or a tight end over there to chip on him, or he's going to kill a quarterback.
Charlie Garner is the remaining back. And Garner jumps to the outside. Turns the corner. He's a good-looking kid. He's finally knocked out of bounds at about the 13-yard line by Sean Gale. This is a 5'9" running back, 187 pounds. The only question is, can he take the beating of carrying 20-25 times a ball game?
That isn't going to be a problem for him. He's going to carry it about 10 or 12 times a game, according to Ray Rhodes, Charlie. And, you know, just like you watched Foster and Morris last year for Pittsburgh pound the heck out of people, Ray Rhodes has got backs, and Ricky Waters and Charlie Garner, they're not going to pound on people, but people aren't going to be able to catch these guys and hit them if this line blocks right.
3rd down and 3. Quick drop, left flat. Ricky Waters, and out of bounds near the 5-yard line. This is a classic drive. Ricky Waters brought down by Terrence Shaw, and remember, it was the return by Kelvin Martin that set it up at the San Diego 45.
Well, this is a great play call by Gruden, the offensive coordinator, and it does 2 things. It gets his best running back receiver out in the open, in air, to give a chance for defenders to miss. But more importantly for this Eagles offense, it gives number 12, Randall Cunningham, confidence. He's completing some passes, he's taking a beating, and they're hanging with him.
Cunningham has completed 3 of 6, and he's looked very efficient doing it. Here's the handoff. Ricky Waters, he slides just a bit as he tries to make his cut inside. There's nothing there. He's going to pick up maybe a yard. Ball outside the 5-yard line. Give him a half a yard to the 5. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go.
Well, I think that just about sums up the fans' reaction here in Philadelphia. It's been a long love-hate, sometimes hate-hate relationship between Randall and his fans here in Philly. And
every once in a while, love.
Hey, I tell you what, the bottom line, if you play for Ray Rhodes, you're going to be successful, you're going to move the offense, you're going to score points, or you're going to be watching with a clipboard in your hands.
Inside the 20. wing, right side. Defender falls down. Waters into the end zone. Touchdown. Ricky Waters.
Well, the Chargers didn't see this West Coast Bill Walsh offense really in the opener against the Raiders, but so far today, they're seeing all this offense they really want. What's it do? It gets the ball effectively to the wide receivers. It gets the ball to running backs who can run after the catch, and it gets a quarterback some serious kind of pumped up.
And Gary Anderson with the extra point attempt. And it is good. The Philadelphia Eagles take the early 7-0 lead, and Cunningham is all smile.
That's Eagles offensive coordinator John Gruden, an excellent job of calling the right plays and calling the plays he has on his checklist and not going away from anything because he feels maybe Randall can't handle something or it might be dangerous. He went with what he wanted to run, and Randall executed.
Andre Coleman on the return. They stand him up at around the 24-25-yard line. We have 20 yards on the return. Derek Oden is the man who makes the stop for the Eagles, and so the San Diego Chargers on offense now for the third time in the ball game, but this time they trail by a score of 7-0.
Really, for only the second time so far this season, this early season, the Charger offense was just taken, our Chargers defense was taken down the field. The Raiders had a 99-yard drive in the opener. Now the Eagles put that drive on them. Getting behind can be a problem at times for this Charger offense. They're very methodical and they're run-based.
Natron Means is the remaining back. Humphries to throw on first down. Goes to the far side. The pass is complete to Tony Martin, who had 13 receptions last week. He's only going to pick up a couple of yards on the play, maybe 3.
That could have very easily been 6 the other way. Look at the soft play by Frazier, but look at the close. Did you see the way he closed on the ball? And that's because he was staring in at Stan Humphries the whole way. And from the snap of the ball, Humphries was looking over there to throw it. He's very lucky, A, that was completed, and B, it wasn't completed for 6 points for the Eagles.
Shannon Mitchell is the H-back. He's the blocker. Here's Natron off the right side to the 31-yard line. A gain of a couple. Kurt Covea with the tackle. For an update, let's go to New York.
All right, Charlie, in Kansas City, former Chiefs running back Harvey Williams fumbled. The Chiefs convert. Steve Bono, 5 yards to Lake Dawson. And with the extra point, Kansas City leading the Oakland Raiders. It's 7-0 in the first. Charlie?
All right, thank you, Greg. Here in Philadelphia, it's Philadelphia 7-0, and we're in the first with 4:56 and counting time remaining. Harmon goes in motion. Humphries has pressure up the middle. Sets, comes back, a sidearm throw, trying to get it to Harmon. Maybe. In reality, he was simply throwing it away. Now, remember, that was 3rd down and 5. Chargers offense stymied again. They'll be kicking.
Interesting little thing we've got going with the quarterbacks. Cunningham on the last possession, doing what he's not known for, being patient and placing the ball. And right there you got Humphries trying to create things and make things happen. Almost gave up a turnover. That's not what Stan does well. Stan is a pocket passer, and you get him on the move, you can make him make mistakes. He's got to stay in the pocket.
Darren Bennett will be kicking, and remember, it's Kelvin Martin's return that set up the 45-yard touchdown drive. This time he takes it at the 25-yard line, heads to the near side. Looks for a couple of blocks. He gets one, and that's going to be excellent coverage by the special teams of the Chargers downfield, led by Dwayne Gordon. We're going to step aside for a moment. The Eagles are up 7-0.
As you see right there coming off the field is Greg Jefferson. Watch what happens to him right in here. Watch the little hitch that happens in his giddy up. This is a pure AstroTurf leg plants. Ouch. That's, you know, you can get reels and reels and reels of that stuff. This is the brand new turf here, but, you know, it's kind of like a good surgery and a bad surgery. They're all bad surgeries if you need surgery, and all turfs are bad. And that young man just found out how bad this even new carpet is here at the vet.
And it grabs him just like he's running on Velcro. Eagles first down the 35-yard line. And they open up on the ground with Charlie Garner. And Garner will go to the 35. We'll give him 4. Leslie O'Neal with a tackle at 2nd down and 6.
You don't have to be a big physical back all the time to make something out of nothing. And that's a great example of Garner. Watch him do something out of nothing. There's nothing there, but with his speed, his quickness, and his jetting ability where he just says, hey, I'm going to go for some yards. Here's Leslie O'Neal. The reason there was nothing there, well, there was nothing there. There was a 91 there in a blue jersey waiting to hug him.
Yes. Full swing right side. Here's Garner again. And he's going to come up a couple of yards shy of the first down. Dwayne Harper with the tackle. Garner's coming back off of knee surgery.
Well, he is, and there was a lot of doubt, I think, even in Ray Rhodes' mind, if he could use this young man this year. At the beginning of the year, you know, Ray said, hey, to be honest, I didn't really think this guy could help until I really got a chance to see him run. I sat down with him, explained where I stood with him, which Ray Rhodes loves to give people where they stand with him, and he went out and proved that he's got to be involved in this offense. 3rd down and 2.
And here is Waters. They string him out. He turns back, and the Charger defense is going to stop the Eagles this time. And again, it is Leslie O'Neal. So that means that Tom Hutton, the left-footed punter, will come in for the Philadelphia Eagles. So with the exception of the 26-yard punt return by Kelvin Martin that set up the 45-yard touchdown drive, it has been a standoff.
Well, what really has killed the Chargers offense so far this year has been field position. They're averaging getting the ball on the -19 or their own 19-yard line. That has killed them so far, and right about now, that's about where they're getting the ball every time.
Here is Andre Coleman. Another good kick. He takes this one back. No, he's going to let it go into the end zone for the touchback. And it will be the 20-yard line. That's just as you say about where they've started. It's tough to go 80 yards every time.
Well, it really is. You know what the hardest part really is, though, Charlie? When you're starting on the 20, you have got to get a drive together of about 60 yards before, if you're Bobby Ross, you even start thinking about points. And, you know, that just doesn't work. I don't care if you're in a 4 tight end, you know, 4 600-pound lineman offense, you know, and your quarterback has a gun like Stan Humphries has. You have got to get field position. How important is that when you look at coaches over the years that have just played field position exclusively? That's Ralph Friedgen in the middle there with the headset on and the glasses, and he talked to us about that yesterday. That affects his play calling because his plays he can't call backed up.
And he starts from the 20-yard line, first down. And here's Natron Means off the left side. Has a hole. He's 5 fumbles. The Eagles should have it. And they do on the turnover at the 36-yard line of San Diego. Greg Jackson comes up with it.
That is what's been killing the Chargers. It lost them the opener against the Raiders. They had 2 turnovers last week against Seattle. You know, I think it was about, oh, here, you said he has a hole. Well, yeah, he had the hole. What he didn't have is the ball. Kurt Govea tried for the strip, didn't get the strip, and that ball just escaped. It didn't pop out. It just sort of left.
Now, it's not rainy now. We had rain all morning. Does that have any effect on the fumble?
I don't think so. If anything, a ball that's slightly wet in these conditions is a little easier to hold on to.
First down, 36-yard line of San Diego. And here's Ricky Waters. Waters to the 32. That's good for 4. 2nd and 6. Terrence Shaw with the tackle. Here's Greg Gumbel with an update in New York.
All right, Charlie, on a rainy day in Buffalo, Marshall Faulk goes 13 yards to score as the Indianapolis Colts draw first blood, but the Buffalo Bills have struck right back. They are waiting for the extra point. It's a 1-point lead, but probably not for long, Charlie.
Marshall Faulk, the San Diego State alumnus, having another good ball game. He's a force. 2nd down and 6. 1:43. That is the time remaining first quarter. Play action fake. Good fake. Comes back over the middle and drills it to the 5-yard line. Ed West, the tight end.
Ed West, 12-year veteran. One of the reasons he's not in Green Bay anymore is they don't think he can get down the field. I don't know if he's lost weight, gotten quicker, or loves AstroTurf, but he got in that seam in a heartbeat, just like you've seen the Novaceks in Dallas and the Jones in San Francisco do.
Was that the same spot the 49ers hit against the Chargers in the Super Bowl?
Exactly. That's the Brent Jones pass, and you're seeing a lot of similar play calling from that late January wipeout in Miami to this great start for the Eagles offense today.
First down, goal to go, 5-yard line. Straight shot up the middle by Charlie Garner. Garner's going to get maybe 3. Orlando with the tackle.
Charlie, that's a case where, yeah, he's 187 pounds. He can go in there with all the enthusiasm and speed he wants, but look at him smiling there. He knows you can go in quick as heck, but you're coming out as fast the other way.
I'm much more effective when we're about the 50-yard line.
Yeah. Give me a gap. I don't like the girth. I don't hit girth as well as I do gaps.
Second down and goal, 3-yard line. And here is Waters, and he's got the corner, and he fumbles the ball out of bounds. If it goes through the end zone and out of the side, it's a touchback. If it's out of bounds in the field of play, the Eagles will retain possession.
Well, it's out of bounds at about the 1-yard line, and just like we saw Natron Means, watch, this ball leaves. Here it comes. See ya. Wow. That is 2 in a row. Watch this again. Nothing causes this but his arm motion. You see the pads he's wearing on his arms? Those pads have got a tacky surface inside of the forearms that are supposed to help you hold on to the ball for running backs.
We'll take the countdown to the end of the quarter. So we have 1 in the book. We've got 3 to go, and the Eagles are up 7-0 as they threaten again. Don't go away. We'll be back in a moment.
Now watch this fumble. See the insides of those elbow pad things on his forearms? Those are like the surface of the gloves. Those are supposed to help the ball stick into his arm. You saw how fast that thing slipped out? Is he excited about those? Not really. He's gone back to the old basic.
Yeah, he slipped out of it.
The heck with the AstroTurf burns on the elbows and those little strawberries. I'm taking those things off. You know, because goodness knows when you're a skilled player, it has to be the equipment.
Of course.
If you don't fumble because it's your fault, it has to be the equipment. Well, see, the difference is, see Natron Means? Those aren't the same kind. Those are the neoprene rubber sleeves right there. Now the water can get on that and make that real slippery.
1-yard line, 3rd down, goal to go. Play action fake. Buying time. All alone over the middle is Fred Barnett. Whoa, was he wide open. A great fake by the Eagles. Second touchdown pass in the ball game for Cunningham.
Well, you need 2 things on this type of a play action. You need a great fake that'll get the linebackers and the defensive linemen down. You got that. The linebackers can't help on the pass, and nobody could help on that one except a photographer, and Randall Cunningham has got 2 touchdown passes here early.
Cunningham has completed 7 of 10, 56 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Rodney Peete, grab that clipboard. You're going to be there for a while.
Here's the extra point. It is good, and the Eagles are up by a score of 14-0 over the San Diego Chargers. And Cunningham celebrates. We'll be back with the kickoff in a moment.
The main point that Bobby Ross brought up to us yesterday, these turnovers are absolutely killing us. So far, 5 plays, 36 yards, topped off by Barnett's pass from Cunningham, and 31 points so far off turnovers.
And here is the kickoff at the 10-yard line. Andre Coleman on the return to the 25. Good return. 30. He's out to the 40. Best field position that San Diego will have in the ball game. And it was Gary Anderson, the kicker, who finally got him 45 yards on the return. And here's a program to note tonight. Mad About You makes the move to Sunday at 8/7 Central with a 1-hour episode. This Emmy Award-winning comedy starring Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt is sure to change your Sunday night viewing habits. Well, right now, the San Diego Chargers are trying to change their Sunday afternoon viewing habits as they trail 14-0. But now they start from the Philadelphia 49-yard line. The drop, the flat pass complete, out of bounds, Sean Jefferson. Now we'll look at the Chargers version of the West Coast offense.
Well, basically what, Ralph Friedgen, their offensive coordinator, wants to do through Stan Humphries right now in this offense is get something going. Stan's there saying, look, I've got my list. I can start calling plays for situations, but I need confidence from my offense. But more importantly, I need my skill people to get and hold on to that ball because it's starting to get slick.
Natron Means is the running back. Mitchell is the H-back. There's nothing there. The line of scrimmage of 44, maybe a half yard, and that's going to be it. Gavea of BYU is the man who stopped him.
You know, that's going right out of spot with Mamula, that rookie defensive lineman, 250 pounds. You figure, hey, I've got a matchup. Let me get after him. What happens? Mamula stands up swaying, discards him, and gets in on that player. He's a very deceptive 250. He's a very physical, quick striker that gets into alignment and neutralizes.
Chargers are 0 for 3 in third down opportunities. Here's a sweep to the near side. Ronnie Harmon, the big play, third down maker, and he's going to do it. On the sweep to the near side, he's going to pick up the first down. Greg Jackson with the tackle.
Derek Frazier, the right cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles, gets a smushing.
A smushing?
A smushing from Eric Moten. Watch Moten. He kind of looks wild, getting his stuff together, getting all that weight going and pulling out. And right in front of Ronnie Harmon, there's the side of the smushing right there, about right at the first down marker, and it might have been a mega smush.
That's halfway between a smash and a mush. He goes deep, has a man, 2 steps on his receiver, touchdown San Diego. Yes, Sean Jefferson holds on to it. As Stan Humphrey strikes from 38 yards away, and the Chargers are on the scoreboard. A 49-yard touchdown drive. 4 plays. It was set up by Andre Coleman's 45-yard kickoff return.
And Jefferson thinks he was interfered with here by McMillan. It was a very nice throw. Let's look at the end and see what happened. He has to slow down. That wasn't interference. That was a great catch by Sean Jefferson. A nice throw by Stan Humphries. And again in 1995, a wonderful job by the offensive coaches of the Chargers. Being patient, going with a run, going with a short run, and then taking that big shot. I told you, this team can get the ball down the field quick.
John Carney to attempt the point after. And it is good. And we have a 14-7 ball game. Eagles on top by 7. Stan Humphrey strikes through the air for San Diego.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinkin' Busch Light. By Acura, who invites you to test drive the exciting new TL Series. By the Lennox Complete Heat System. Home heating plus virtually unlimited hot water from the company you trust. And by AT&T, your true choice.
This is Charlie Jones, Randy Cross. We're at the Vet. We have just over 13 minutes left in the first half. The Eagles are up 14-7 over the Chargers. The Chargers coming back in 1 minute and 46 seconds. A 49-yard touchdown drive. And it was Stan Humphries to Sean Jefferson to make the game 14-7.
Really the key on that play, we talked about that striking down the field. Both safeties, Greg Jackson and Michael Zordich, were out of the game inside. You wonder why that big gap was inside. McMillan had no help. Regular guys weren't there.
Here is Kelvin Martin. Martin will take it at the 3. He's out to the 15, up the sideline, and he's going to step out of bounds around the 22-yard line. 17 yards on the return.
One more time. Watch Stan Humphries chunk this thing right down the middle. If you're a corner playing outside, expecting inside help, that inside help is supposed to come in that case from Barry Wilbur, number 45, and it does not come. Humphries slightly underthrows it, but he could because the inside of the field was wide open without that safety support.
Mark McMillan, the cornerback. The report that we have is Zordich has a pulled groin and Greg Jackson has a shoulder injury. And here is Cunningham. Here's a screen on first down, and it is anticipated by Junior Seau. He was right in the middle of the screen.
You see the end of the play? The San Diego Charger fans are finally seeing a little of that fire and that screaming out of Junior Seau. He has led this team in tackles the last 5 years, and this year so far he's got 8 tackles in 2 games. For a guy that basically averages almost 10 tackles a game, Dave Adolph there as defensive coordinator knows this guy's way, way down. But good to see a little fire out of Junior.
Second down and 13 following the loss of 3. Good protection, goes deep over the middle. First down, Eagles. Kelvin Martin pulls it in. Was it Martin or Cal? No, it's Kelvin Martin.
Well, I want you to watch something right here. Watch Guy McIntyre the whole way. Sure, this is a completed pass, but let me show you a little football inside of football. Watch the backside of Randall Cunningham about to get smushed right there. McIntyre buys in those last few seconds. That's why he's able to spot that ball and make that completion. That's a veteran play by an offensive lineman.
Converting on 2nd and 13. First down to the 38-yard line. Here's Charlie Garner. And the Eagles are cranking up their offense for the 3rd time in the ballgame. Terrence Shaw and Sean Gale. For the Chargers, they team up on the tackle.
Well, the tons of fun for the Chargers. Those defensive tackles and Junior Seau are usually up the gut, the strength of this Chargers defense. There's McIntyre, there's McKenzie, there's the backside with Antone Davis getting a little block. Panos, that's attacking them and getting them where they live and make their living and making it work.
2nd down and 1, an ideal opportunity to go deep for the Eagles. Cunningham hands off. Here's the first down, and it's Charlie Garner off the left side. And they stay with the game plan. They'll go to the 50-yard line. Reuben Davis with a stop for San Diego.
And that's going right back over that left side of that rookie Barrett Brooks and Guy McIntyre. And I'm sure Ray Rhodes at this point knows that he's much better off establishing a blast-in-your-face kind of a presence for this young rookie Brooks than having to put him back where he's going to have to pass protect much. Because, you know, Ray Rhodes knows that this rookie lineman's going to be at a loss going against O'Neal in must-pass situations.
Charlie Garner comes out of the ballgame. 6 carries, 29 yards. This one is fired incomplete. Good defensive play. Calvin Williams, the intended receiver, and Dwayne Harper times the pass perfectly to break it up. It'll be 2nd and 10.
You know, style, technique, discipline, usually quarterback words. Well, watch the technique and the discipline right there. That's simultaneous. I'm sorry. The officials do not have the benefit of that nanosecond before the ball actually got there. That's just good defensive football.
Cunningham now 9 of 13, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 10. Ricky Waters. He's got the first down inside the 40-yard line to the 39 of San Diego. Harrison with the tackle. He's rushed for 29. Will rush to New York for an update.
All right, Charlie, Vinny Testaverde of the Browns off to a terrific start this season and in this game. This is a 15-yarder to Keenan McCardle. The Browns and the Oilers in the Astrodome. And right now, it's Cleveland 7 and Houston nothing in the 2nd. Charlie and Randy.
Thank you, Greg. The Eagles up by 7, and they have stepped up the pace. They're in a hurry. And here is Ricky. Big hole left side. Pops short. He's got another first down. Ricky Waters.
What a start for Ricky Waters in a game he had to play good in. After that opening loss to Tampa Bay, he popped off and said some stuff he shouldn't have said. These fans wanted to see what they're going to get out of Ricky Waters. What are you getting? You're getting a touchdown on a pass, and you're getting some good, tough, aggressive running out of a fired-up Ricky Waters. Don't ever worry about enthusiasm in Ricky Waters. He is going to go after you.
And they bring out the chains. That validates the first down. The ball to the 29-yard line.
You know, if anything else, Charlie, Ricky Waters is one of those backs. If he's going to fumble, it's generally a fumble of aggression. He's trying so hard to make something happen. His body goes in 30 different directions, and sometimes the ball goes in the 31st.
First down, Eagles. And this is a straight shot up the middle. This time is Charlie Garner. No, it's going to be 2nd down and long as we check out the scores around the league. NFL on NBC, our ticker is St. Louis. Oh, what a story they are. Cleveland leading Houston 7-0. Indianapolis and Buffalo tied at 7. Greg set that one up for us. Detroit leading Arizona 3-0 as Buddy Ball still struggles. Atlanta and New Orleans are tied. Here the Eagles are up 14-7 over San Diego. And we've got flags. This is going to be the first flag of the ballgame. My goodness. It comes with 8:39.
Ball starts. Number 72 offense before the snap. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
Joe Panos, the right guard.
That's too bad for Randall Cunningham, too, because he stood in there and fired that thing, and Ray Rhodes' offense got a heck of a gain. It's just a young, inexperienced mistake by a second-year player like Panos, just getting going. Just wanting to be aggressive. You're being successful. Smash the Chargers front seven in the face right now, getting your running backs going, and you got to learn how to put a governor on once in a while when you're a young lineman.
It'll be second down and 14. Cunningham, good protection again over the middle. Pass is incomplete. But Randall Cunningham has all kinds of time. He goes to Kelvin Martin. And Dwayne Harper had the coverage for San Diego.
Now a big difference in this offense. Watch the options. He's got one. He's got two. He's got time and a half. He went to his second receiver after the two receivers were covered on the right side that he wanted to throw the ball to. So if you want an illustration of the biggest difference in the offense, Randall Cunningham's running the pass, and now with this 49er style, you just saw it. His options have increased, and he didn't run with the ball.
Eagles have converted 3 of 5 third-down opportunities. This is a long one. Pass goes back underneath the coverage to Fred McCrary, the fullback, who is placing the injured Kevin Turner, who is out for the year. Junior Seau with a tackle and a field goal attempt. Upcoming by the Eagles is Gary Anderson comes aboard.
Well, I didn't get the first down, obviously, Charlie, but another nice play, and something you can also see out of the Chargers style of offense with a quick one out of the backfield to Ronnie Harmon. They do that all the time in Bobby Ross's style, but Cunningham got rid of that ball very quickly, got the extra yards, and made this a much more makeable field goal.
From just outside the 33, a 43-yard field goal attempt by Gary Anderson. And it bends to the left, and it is no good. So Anderson misses from 43 yards away. The Eagles still lead by 7. We'll be back to the vet in Philadelphia in just a moment. Gary Anderson misses from 43 yards away. So the spot of the kick was the 33-yard line. That's where the miss came. And now one of the NFL rules, that's where San Diego takes over. And this is their second best field position to start a drive. Then they start it with Natron Mead. And he goes to the 36-yard line. He has 3. It'll be second down and 7. Gouveia with the tackle.
That was a big sequence there for that Chargers defense. Starting out with that offside penalty, that motion by Panos, and then stuffing them up, and then the kick being missed. I mean, that's called seriously dodging a bullet for Bobby Ross and the Chargers.
Natron Means has been held to 19 yards rushing in 7 carries. That's less than 3 yards a carry. They try him again. He is tripped up. He goes to the 39. Guess what? 3 more yards. Third down and 4. And here's an update in New York.
All right, Charlie, at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, the Oakland Raiders have pulled even. Harvey Williams went 23 yards to set up this 1-yard plunge. And with the extra point, the Raiders and Chiefs are tied at 7-7. Little extra antics in the end zone in the second quarter. Back to you, Charlie and Randy.
All right, thank you, Greg. I got a question for your next update. And here is Humphries to throw on third down, and he overthrows Ronnie Harmon. And the Eagles hold, and the Chargers will be kicking. When we saw Oakland, they had very few penalties. I'm wondering against Kansas City if they have that same modus operandi.
Well, if they have penalties, it'll be unnecessary roughness, personal foul. But watch Mamula here working against Swain. I talked about his wiggle. Look at this, the strength for a 250-pound guy pushing back that big tackle. You saw that quick rip. He didn't get there. The defensive end set up moves early in the game to be used later when it's important.
Fourth down, Bennett with the kick. Calvin Martin with a waving fair catch at the 20-yard line. So the Eagles will take over at their 20. Just over 6 minutes left to go in the first half. And they are up 14-7 following a 41-yard kick.
Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie with one of the better celebrity golfers in America, Julius Erving. Funny to see him in green instead of red, white, and blue still.
Ricky Waters for the 20-yard line. He's going to lose maybe 3 on the play. It'll be second down and 13. Tom Brokaw has dropped by to say hello. You've got a special halftime presentation. And we... Wait, let's give you a microphone. You do so much better with a microphone. Yes, it does.
Well, this is television. That's right.
That's right. All right, his second down. Cunningham to throw. A little swing right side to Waters. And he may get close to the 20-yard line. Now, tell me about your halftime presentation.
Well, what NBC Channel 10 here in Philadelphia is a new member of the NBC family, and we're doing a lot of exciting new things on NBC Nightly News. And we're going to be sharing that with our new Philadelphia viewers about NBC News in depth and the kinds of things that we're doing that we think are bringing a whole new audience to us. And as I said earlier, I've been trying to get your line of work for a long, long time, but you seem to have a corner.
Well, I keep faking up management. All right, now from the 19-yard line, third down and long. Cunningham, there's a flag on the play. Pass is complete. A little scissor step by Waters, and he's decked at the 26, and we'll go back to check out the flag. Tom, thanks for coming by and visiting. It's good to see you as always. We'll go back a long way. Yeah.
We actually worked together in California.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
and neither one of us has listed that on our resume.
That's true. That's true. And both of our hair were different color. It's good to see you. And we'll see you again at halftime.
Number 78 offense, penalty declined, fourth down.
We always meet at the greatest places. You know, we met at the Fiesta Bowl for the National Championship in Seoul at the Olympics. And then I dropped by for the ball game. All right, it is fourth down.
Ray Rhodes got a holding penalty out of Antoine Davis. Remember, he's in there playing for Lester Holmes, and he got overpowered and just grabbed.
Tom Hutton, this is not a good kick. Does not turn over. Fair catch is called for and taken at the 41-yard line. Only 34 yards on the kick. We have 4:41 left in the first half. Next Saturday, a Super Saturday, as NBC Sports brings you two headline events. First, the Ryder Cup at a special time. Are you ready? Starting at 8 a.m. Eastern. In the morning, our 13 hours of live coverage tees off as two-man teams for USA and Europe go head-to-head in this classic match play event. It is fabulous. That'll be followed by Notre Dame. Ron Paul as they take on the University of Texas Longhorns. Philadelphia up over San Diego 14-7. And the Chargers go to work at their own 41-yard line as Humphries comes out throwing. And he goes deep down the far sideline and overthrows everybody. He was going to Tony Martin. There was excellent coverage by Mark McMillan.
And back into the game for Philadelphia, Charlie's Greg Jackson at safety. And you notice the difference on that pass compared to the touchdown where they attack the middle. In that case, Humphries is trying to attack the outside of McMillan. He turns, he runs, he takes everything away. There is nowhere for this place to go. You know, I really like this guy. People talk about his height and his weight and kind of laugh at the matchups he gets into at times, but McMillan is one of the best pure cover corners in the league.
Stan Humphries only 3 of 9 for 47 yards. And here is Natron Means. He has a hole, and he powers his way over the left side out near the 50-yard line. So he's going to pick up about 9 on the play. Eric Zomal now at strong safety. He's the number 3 man in that slot, makes the tackle. His Means is 31 yards rushing.
And as the Chargers attacking the guts right inside of this Eagles defense, doing what they do best, which is power the ball and threat with that long bomb. That softens up defenses. When you go for that big home run, they just sit back a little bit, then you hit them in the face. Third down, about a yard and a half. The Chargers have converted only 1 third down opportunity. They convert here. And it is Natron Means, stopped by Kurt Gouveia. 47-yard line of Philadelphia, first down. Well, it's a nice job. You know, 5'10", 245 pounds, but he's still smart enough and good enough. He knows how to set up his blocks. And at 245, you're not exactly squeaking through a little hole. You need a big hole to squeak through. You know, if you're going to squeak one at 245, it better be like that and be about 8 feet wide. First down, San Diego at the Eagles' 47-yard line. Chargers trail by 7 with 3:24 and counting time remaining in the first half. Play action fake, buys all kinds of time, goes to Martin. He's got it behind 2 defenders. Tony Martin pulls it in. The Eagles had 2 defenders, but he had a step on both of them. Charlie, you remember, you know, we've got a thing here on NBC, the quarterback challenge. One of the quarterback challenges should be hitting a moving target over 2 other moving targets. You got to drop it in perfectly. And how perfect is that? I mean, absolutely right over the top and perfectly laid in there by Stan Humphries. You can game plan all you want, but if your quarterback doesn't have that touch and that great throwing ability like Stan Humphries, most guys don't complete that good a pass. From the 47-yard line to the 8-yard line, it is first down and goal to go. San Diego to tie it up. We've got a flag. And Natron Means is spun down.
And that was Andy Harmon who got him after the flag. This will be the first penalty against the Chargers. Gordon McCarter is the referee.
False start. Offensive left guard before the snap. 5 yards. Still first down.
Well, remember, Panos jumped off sides for the Eagles, and now this time it's Eric Moten, who, you know, for all intents and purposes, about a third year in the NFL guy after that bad injury. And, you know, you got to have that governor. And actually, you know, on that play, it was 73. Isaac Davis, the young guy's in there.
You saw what the Chargers have done inside the 20. It's second down and goal to go. But now the line of scrimmage is the 13. Humphries fires. It is almost intercepted. Derek Frazier had it, and he dropped it. And Humphries hit him right in the hand. He misread the color of his jersey.
You have always got to assume you're going to get a gift if you're a defensive back and be ready to gift wrap it and take it. That was a gift. And there's the giver. And he got one back. He's saying right there, Martin, you're supposed to go inside. Don't make me look like that.
It was Christmas in September. Third down goal to go. Excuse me, second down goal to go. Harmon. Shut off inside, cuts to the outside.
You know, that was a good job there by William Thomas, obviously getting penetration for Ray Rhodes' defense. But when you look at this defensive front, you got Romanowski 241, Fuller 280, Andy Harmon 78, Govea 240, Gunn 296, 250 Mamula, Thomas 223. Not big except for Gunn, but they attack those gaps.
And speaking of numbers, the 2-minute warning. Back in a moment. Costly penalty on Isaac Davis. He reversed the right side next to Stan Brock.
Well, because Brock doesn't yell at him because he's a veteran. But here's a pass protection down. You got to have coordination on that line.
Third and goal, 13-yard line. And Humphries is pulled down. The ball comes loose. May go back underneath the stack to Humphries, or the Eagles say that they have it, and the officials will make it official. No, San Diego recovers. So underneath the pile.
Oh, that ball was just kicked right back to Humphries. Watch this here. Here comes Fuller from the outside, beating that veteran Brock. He strips the ball out, getting a little help from the backside from Harmon. Look at Thomas. He rolls the ball right back into Humphries' hands. Good break for the Chargers.
From the 25-yard line, a field goal attempt by John Carney of 35 yards. And he's got this one. It is good from 35 yards away, and the Chargers pull within 4 of the Eagles. Philadelphia up 14-10. Back to the kickoff in a moment. Welcome back to the vet. We've got 1 minute and 29 seconds time remaining in the first half, as San Diego just kicking the 35-yard field goal and pulling within 4 of the Philadelphia Eagles. And so that means that John Carney will be kicking off either Kelvin Martin or Charlie Gardner.
And we get to take a look at Randall Cunningham's mastery of this part of this 49ers style offense, the 2-minute drill. Remember how effective remember how effective a lot of these offenses like San Francisco are in this situation.
And here's the kick. Kelvin Martin will watch it and is going to bounce into the end zone for the touchback. And the Eagles will start from their own 20-yard line. Be sure to stay with us at halftime here. The NFL on NBC. Greg Gumbel and Mike Ditka, Joe Montana, scores and highlights. The Domino's halftime report and an interview with Steve Young. That is all coming up following the first half of action here at the Vet in Philadelphia. And then following that, we'll come back here and you'll have a chance to visit with Tom Brokaw. And he's going to, again, jock with the outstanding new affiliate here, NBC affiliate in Philadelphia. So we have all that for you here at halftime of our ball game. Now the Eagles go to work at their own 20-yard line, first down. They have a minute 29. That is all of the time remaining in the first half. Back underneath the coverage, pass is complete and headed for the set. Ball is knocked loose. Outstanding defensive play by the Chargers, and they have the ball. It is Junior Seau. He picks it up and he scores With that turn of events, San Diego has the lead. And it was Willie Clark who jarred the ball loose.
And Cunningham also took a big hit from John Perella, defensive lineman, just as he let that thing go. You want a spark? There's a spark with a hit. You want another one? Watch the turnover. Watch Clark. Helmet right on the ball. Ball pops up. Junior Seau scoops it up, and you're about to see why this guy could be a running back in this league, too. Little instincts, little swivel, little swagger, little six.
He looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Not protecting the ball, which can drive a head coach crazy, but he scored.
And here is the extra point attempt. And this turn of events gives the San Diego Chargers the lead as Kearney splits the upright. And the Chargers have moved on top of the Eagles for the first time in the ball game. They lead this one 17-14. Junior Seau with the fumble recovery, and it was jarred loose by Willie Clark.
And the Chargers get an opportunity to bite somebody back on a turnover. They've been the victim in the past, and right there, Ray Rhodes' Eagles gave that ball up. And Junior Seau very alertly and athletically, I might add, makes him pay for it. Cunningham goes to the ground. Now watch the helmet of Willie Clark. Perfect position on the ball. And now it's just kind of a highlight reel. That's all it is. It's just a chance for Junior to show what he's got. And one thing Cunningham doesn't do well, obviously, is tackle. The other thing he doesn't do really well is take too much of these hits. He shouldn't have to take too many of them hits. Perella just, that was a smush.
John Perella with a big smush.
It was a mega smush.
Junior Seau with that 30-yard fumble return for the touchdown. And San Diego with the extra point up by 17-14. And you ready for this? That is Junior Seau's first career touchdown in the NFL.
Always a surprise from a guy that's made so many huge plays for this Chargers defense, but he's been criticized in the San Diego area for not producing a bunch of tackles in the first two games. Well, folks, how do you like him now?
He's been saving himself for the touchdown. 4 seconds of elapsed on the clock. Here is Kelvin Martin on the return. He's to the 15, the 20, 25 to the return, and then stacked up near the 30-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 29, a return of 23 yards. It was Bo Orlando who was there to greet him. A series of ones, 1 minute and 11 seconds. Chargers and Eagles both with 3 timeouts remaining, and the Chargers are up by 3, 17-14. And this turn of events has quieted the crowd here in Philadelphia.
It really has. You know, there's no definitive person or thing to blame that on outside of a great defensive effort by Willie Clark, putting his helmet on the ball and causing that turnover. This offense can still move the ball down the field with this much time.
First down from the 29-yard line. Here's Ricky Waters. And Waters will go across the 35. We're marking to the 37-yard line. So that's 8. It'll be second down and 2.
A lot of confusion.
Now they're taking all kinds of time.
And the offensive players, some of these guys jumping up and down, don't like this. Look at Fred Barnett screaming and yelling. This is where Cunningham, look at Cunningham. Cunningham needs to just take control here. It's not his decision. It's the coach's decision not to go to a hurry-up offense. He's got to say, guys, relax. We got a job. Let's move it.
So the Eagles burning all kinds of time off of the clock here inside of the last 2 minutes. And the crowd's reaction you can hear in the background. They're not thrilled at all. As the Eagles have decided they're just going to sit on this the 3 points that they trail by. Chargers up 17-14, and that's going to be it at the half.
I don't blame these fans. They should boo loud and clear. I think this decision legitimately stinks. This is playing give up with a minute and something left in an offense that's supposed to be able to move the ball in this situation.
So it is halftime, and the Chargers lead by 3, 17-14. Junior Seau on the fumble recovery from 30 yards out. Now let's go to New York and Greg Gumbel. Welcome back to the vet. Here are the Coors Light halftime stats. And the numbers pretty well point out exactly what we see, the Coors Light halftime stats.
Well, probably the biggest part of that first half, especially offensively, is San Diego's come out, and instead of just pounding the ball exclusively, they've thrown some key passes. They've averaged almost 9 yards a play on first down, where really Philadelphia is limited with very conservative runs to about a little less than 3.
And now now the Eagles, following the kickoff return, they go to work at the 20-yard line. The open little play action fake. Come back over the middle to the rookie fullback, Fred McCrary. And he pulls it in. He's going to pick up around 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Eagles. And they trail here as we start the second half. San Diego out in front by 3, 17-14 in reality, with the exception of the fumble that was created by Willie Clark and picked up by Junior Seau from 30 yards out in the touchdown. The Eagles have dominated the ballgame. And now the give inside is to Ricky Waters, and Waters goes to the 35-yard line. Well, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 3, Randy.
Charlie, these fans are still pretty shocked by the end of that second quarter with it. The Eagles chose to waste 1 minute and 11 seconds off the clock, not try to get any points when they had fairly decent field position. So right now, this Eagles offense has not exactly come out guns a-blazing. They ran twice right up the gut, and setting Randall up in what I think obviously is a must-throw situation. But in this offense, you have the luxury of good receiving running backs.
Converting 3 of 7 3rd down opportunities. Waters has now rushed for 51. This is incomplete on 3rd down. And so the Eagles will hear some resounding boos, and they will be kicking as Andre Coleman goes back to set up shop for the Chargers just outside the 22-yard line.
Well, it's not only the crowd that seems a little stunned off the end of that first half. The Eagles offense looked a little stunned on that first possession. They just sort of looked, you know, the old thing about not running on all cylinders. Well, the offense looked like it was burning kerosene there instead of gasoline.
Tom Hutton, the left-footed kicker. Sun is trying to break through the clouds after we had rain all morning. There was a Philadelphia half marathon, though. Telling they were out 7 o'clock this morning. They were running in the rain. Here's the return for the 12-yard line. Block at the 20, 25. Good return. Has a home 40 if he can get by the kicker. He's to the 40, 30, 20. He is going to score. Andre Coleman does it again. This has become his trademark. 88 yards on the punt return. The special teams of San Diego have taken over the ballgame.
So far in this game, we've seen running games. We've seen big play turnovers. We've seen big plays as far as Seau's return, and now you're seeing Coleman just, I don't know if he got that many great blocks. It just looked like there was an alley on that right side, and he used nothing but pure speed and complete disdain for the kicker. Like, you know, you don't have a chance. Get out of my face, just get away.
He went just rolling by the punter, Tom Hutton. Here's Kearney with the extra point. It is up, and it is good. And Andre Coleman's reaction. And there it is. That's 6 plus 1. And the Chargers lead now by 10.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. By Baked Tostitos. You got Tostitos, you got a party. And by American Express.
Special teams coach Danny Smith of the Eagles. One of the reasons this crowd is absolutely quiet is a big play right there by Coleman on that punt return. Ray Rose worried about his kickoff coverage team. He didn't think he had to worry about his punt coverage team.
Here's Charlie Garner on the kickoff return. He's to the 25, the 30. He hurdles. He's out to the 40-yard line, and he gets the crowd back in the ball game. Bo Orlando with a tackle, 32 yards on that return. But let's go back to the play. 88 yards, Andre Coleman.
Got some good blocks, but, you know, mainly it's just bad angles and too much standing around. You can't really count Tom Hutton as a football player because he is a punter. He's not really an athlete. But the rest of those guys, they get paid to cover those kicks. And Ray Rhodes and Danny Smith will be in some serious business when it's time to watch those tapes tomorrow for that much bad angles and standing around.
Eagles now a first down to the 40-yard line. Here is Waters, only a couple of yards on the play. In reality, 3 things have happened to quiet the crowd. First was Junior Seau picking up the ball and scooting in for the touchdown, and that came with 1:16 to go in the first half. The second phase, the Eagles their 2-minute offense. They didn't run a 2-minute offense. They sat in the huddle, and that really took the crowd up.
That didn't quiet the crowd, though.
No, but it did for the second half, because they sat back and said, now what are you going to do? And the Chargers answered that question with that 88-yard punt return. And so the crowd now, they're very ambivalent about the ball game and about their Eagles. Cunningham's in trouble. He'll be sacked. There's a flag on the play. Ball pops loose. And they're going to call the play dead. And don't forget there was a flag.
Two tackles.
Cunningham is down. He got drilled. I mean, this is the performance of the last 4 or 5 plays of this Eagles offense is absolutely embarrassing to the offensive coaches, and I think to this Eagles organization. They are lost. There's no timing. And then here they just physically get beaten. You've got Leslie O'Neal. You've got Sean Lee. You've got Davis. I mean, they just took them apart.
Holding. Number 76 offense. Penalty decline. 3rd down.
Now holding against Barrett Brooks, the rookie on the left side, working against Leslie O'Neal, who gets in there. And Randall Cunningham got the old high-low. You know, grabbed around the legs, went down very hard on his shoulder.
Junior Seau kind of stretching. We believe they're working on that shoulder. Let's see here what happens.
Now watch the right shoulder of Randall Cunningham. He goes down. He took a ferocious shot right there in the head and that right shoulder just under the pad. Either way, the crowd's going to get a chance to see Rodney Peete and see if Peete can breathe a little bit of oxygen into this offense that right now is just absolutely still. This offense is doing nothing. If it's doing anything, it's going in the wrong direction with penalties and bad play.
And remember last week against Arizona, Rodney Peete came in 2:52, 2 minutes 52 seconds into the second quarter. Well, we're just about that same time. This time we're into the third quarter. And Pete's in trouble. He is going to be sacked as he comes back to throw on 3rd down and long. It was 3rd and 17. And so the Eagles now will be kicking to the very dangerous Andre Coleman.
I mean, the push here is unbelievable. Watch just this side right here go this way and get into the backfield. I mean, the offensive line is doing nothing. Panos barely slows up Sean Lee. Then he gets stopped, and then he still gets the quarterback. Just a pathetic offensive effort right now to open this second half.
And here is Tom Hutton to kick it away. And he turns it over. Good kick. It hangs, taken at the 22-yard line. 25 has a block, cuts to the outside. Another skip step, loses another tackler, turns the corner, and out of bounds. Another good return for Andre Coleman. 18 yards on the return following a 51-yard kick. Cunningham taking a deep breath. Back in a moment. The report on Randall Cunningham, it is a bruised shoulder, and he will return.
From the way he took that hit, Charlie, it looked like he took it on the front of the shoulder, so it shouldn't affect his passing motion as much as a hard blow on top would restrict the range of motion.
San Diego goes to work at their own 42-yard line. Here's Natron Means. Means just keeps going. He takes everybody with him.
A power run from Natron Means. You saw them come out in a 2 tight end offense and just blast out. San Diego Chargers are a very dangerous, difficult team to play when they have a 10-point lead like this and a 245-pound running back behind a big physical offensive line, and you never saw a body in blue there stop turning and moving their feet, but you saw plenty of bodies in white stop.
And you saw Joe Cacuso out in front of Natron, leading him all the way. He picks up 9.5 yards. Second down, a half yard. Here's the first down. He'll go to the 40-yard line.
You remember the old days of watching when Larry Holmes was a heavyweight champion? Everybody always talked about that left jab was his best weapon. He used to just beat people up with that, and unless you could prove you could stop and block that jab, he'd keep smacking you in the face. What Natron Means is Bobby Ross's left jab. And they will keep smacking you in the face with Natron Means in this type of situation till you bow up and prove you can stop it.
Means has rushed for 52 yards in the ballgame. First down. They spotted at the Eagle 41-yard line, and this time he tries the right side. And he's going to go to the 36. So he picks up 5 yards along the way. and it'll be 2nd down and 5 for San Diego. We have 10 minutes time remaining. We're in the 3rd quarter, and we have another Eagle who is injured, and we've got an injury timeout. It is Mark Gunn, the defensive right tackle. We're going to step aside. We'll be back in just a moment. The Chargers lead by 10, 24-14. This is Charlie Jones and Randy Cross. In all sports, attitude is such a key word, and we see 2 different attitudes here.
Well, you've seen a Charger team take advantage of mistakes, come out and smash the Eagles, and you've seen Ray Rhodes' team come out with the attitude you don't expect out of him or his team, softness.
Ronnie Harmon, the ball carrier for San Diego, and they've just taken over the ball game.
Exactly. I mean, softness is not just a pillow or a loaf of, like white bread that's kind of mushy like that. I mean, this team is soft. Their attitude's soft. Their play is soft. Everything about this team just says, stand back and hit me, please.
Meanwhile, San Diego, off to a very slow start. Their first 2 ball games now are showing the form that everybody thought that they would have this year, coming off that appearance, albeit a losing one, in the Super Bowl.
Well, they're taking a physical approach to this play right now, though.
And Natron Means just like that, and he will pick up the 1st down. The Chargers are also upset over the fact, and Natron is limping as he comes up. The Chargers are upset that they get no respect.
Well, watch this play right here. He's either going to take a helmet in the thigh or he's going to go down on his knee on the turf. There he is. Takes a little helmet and a shoulder out of Frazier right into his legs. And, even those legs can get hurt. Believe me, his legs don't feel good, and I guarantee you Frazier's shoulder and head don't feel good for running into it.
Means has rushed now for 68 yards. Here's Ronnie Harmon, and we've got a flag on the play. And there's a covering flag. We haven't had that many flags in the ballgame. Preliminary signal, this one to go against San Diego. Only 1 against the Chargers for 5 yards, the only penalty they've had in the ballgame. Natron is trying to...
Holding 2 players. 87 offense and 72 offense.
Harry Swain and Dwayne Young.
Right.
Going to hold. Go ahead and get them both.
And right now, Ray Rhodes wishes he could take both penalties.
Yes.
Because he could use taking both penalties, because Bobby Ross's offense right now is using that old left jab and just at least they have cut doctors and a referee can stop a fight.
And Bobby Ross was calling Dwayne Young to the sideline. Just explain that hold to me, young man. I had it like this. 26-yard line. 1st down and 20. 8:15 time remaining, 3rd quarter. Humphries goes to the end zone. Double coverage, split, almost caught. John Jefferson just could not pull it in. That was a great pass.
Well, remember that when I talked about McMillan and how good he is, man on man? Watch the job that's done by Mark McMillan here. Coming in at the very end. This is timing, this is technique, and that is special. The ball was thrown pretty much online for a guy that's about to get this much pressure. That's that rookie, Mamula, out of Boston College. I told you, 250 pounds, he can still get to the quarterback over a 290, 300-pound tackle.
Stan Humphries has completed only 4 passes in the ballgame. 4 of 12. He goes for his 5th, and he does complete it. And Tony Martin pulls this one in, and Mark McMillan makes the tackle. That is only his 5th completion in 13 attempts.
He looks good, though, standing back in that pocket, Charlie. He's not getting too many completions, but he's making the ones he is getting count. He's got a receiver just sitting down and putting in the perfect position. And, this has been an offense that last year really spread the ball around. Not much spreading in this offense right now. If they need a catch, they need a play, he looks for Martin. It's Humphries to Martin is the key for the Chargers.
3rd down and 11. Humphries wants a timeout. Does not like the defense that he saw. On 3rd and 11 at the 17. He wants to go into the end zone for the touchdown. We've got a timeout. We'll step aside. We'll be back in just a moment. Next Saturday, a Super Saturday. NBC Sports brings you 2 headline events. First, the Ryder Cup at the special time starting at 8 a.m. Eastern. And then after that coverage, Notre Dame and Ron Paulus take on the University of Texas. And then after the football game, the Ryder Cup returns live at 4 p.m. Eastern with more pressure-packed match play action. That is Super Saturday on NBC Sports.
So far today, Stan Humphries and the Chargers 2 of 7 in third down completions.
This is a tough one, 3rd and 11. And he has it right at the 6-yard line. He goes to Tony Martin, the man you said he is go-to guy. And it is going to be close. He set up shop at the 5, but then came back a yard to the 6. And we're going to have a measurement to see if he picked up the first down.
That was more a function, I think, of the mark by the official than it was the route by Martin. Martin ran past the markers and just came back ever so slightly.
And they've got it. Martin now, that is his 4th reception for 63 yards. And the Chargers have it first down and goal to go at the 6-yard line.
Well, you get a team in 1st and 20, then you give up a pass, and you get a team in 2nd and kind of medium, and you give up a pass, and you get them in 3rd and medium, and you give up a pass, and you got 1st and goal on the 6. They are going to smash mouth this one.
And this is what the Chargers, as you see, inside of the 20, their numbers. And here is Ronnie Harmon. He just slashes through to about the 3-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and goal to go. San Diego leading by 10. They would like to make the margin 17.
And how much are you dominating and how much are you smashing people around? When you're running a Ronnie Harmon, not a power back, you're doing it a lot because your offensive line up front is getting comfortable with each other. Their coordination is getting together. And even without Natron Means, who's getting his ankle taped right that, without Means, they're still able to penetrate the line of scrimmage and dominate.
Terrell Fletcher, the rookie running back, is now in the ball game, and he gets a handoff, bounces right side, may get a half yard. That's going to be it as the Eagles stop him. So it's now 3rd down and goal to go.
That was a combination of a good defensive effort by Kurt Govea there in the Philadelphia Eagles defense and a rookie running back. Remember the old saying, go west, young man? Well, the idea, Mr. Fletcher, is to go north and south, young man. So that was he was going west, but the goal line was north.
And the remaining back now will be Ronnie Harmon. He sets off to the right flank. This is a passing formation for San Diego. And Humphries to throw. He looks left, a timing pattern in the corner, and it is incomplete. He goes to Mark Say, and it's going to be 4th down. And that means that John Carney will come in with a field goal attempt.
Well, as perfect and as much timing as Stan Humphries throwing a couple of the passes right there. He had an opportunity to get a completion to Say had a man-on-man coverage with the rookie out of Notre Dame, Bobby Taylor, and Say had beaten him.
John Carney has hit from the 35-yard line in this ball game. This is from the 11, an attempt of 21 yards. The Chargers now with 3 touchdowns and a successful field goal attempt. And here is their 2nd one of the ball game. And they go up now by a score of 27-14. We'll be back with the kickoff in a moment. Well, 2 of the happiest men at the vet. That's Alex Spanos, the owner of the Chargers on the right, the general manager Bobby Bethern. And we got an enclosed behind glass. They're enjoying the ball game.
Well, what they're watching really is Bobby Ross's team is just showed why they went to a Super Bowl last year, showed why they're one of the favorites in the AFC. They got off to a rough start, and they've just methodically pounded on them. But, yeah, you'd think for that much money, you know, NFL teams, 200, 250. Couldn't he get better seats?
He's not on the 50-yard line, is he?
Nah, he's up there in the euchre zone. If he was any higher, he'd have a light in his lap.
I think Euchre was in the booth next to it. All right. Charlie Garner, number 30. Kelvin Martin, number 84. They are the kickoff return men for the Eagles. Chargers are out in front 27-14 with 5:35. That is the time remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Carney will kick it away. Martin will take it, and he will down it in the end zone for the touchback, and the Eagles will go to work on their own 20-yard line. And Randall Cunningham is going to be back at quarterback for Philadelphia. So bruised shoulder and all, he is the choice of his head coach, Ray Rhodes.
Well, right now, this offense not only needs a spark, they just need some life. You know, first down so far for this offense. You see how bad they were in to start the second half off? As bad as they've been in the second half on offense, they've really been worse on first down. Less than 3 yards play.
Play action fake. Pass is complete as he goes to Calvin Williams. A nice move. Adds a lot of yardage at the end of the reception. And the Eagles have answered with a big play of 35 yards.
Oh, that'll bump up your average. That'll get that first down average working a little better. Just man-on-man coverage. He's working against the rookie, Terrence Shaw. Now watch the missed tackles. 1, 2. That's a grab by Harrison, not a tackle. Even Sean Gale, a guy known for being physical and really coming up and splattering people, can't be too aggressive because he's the last line of defense. He gets by Gale, he's gone.
And a miscalculation. That is 33 yards on the play. They go back to the ground. Ball on the right side. This is Charlie Garner. Garner with a nice head fake to the inside. Comes back with a quick 12. And another first down for the Eagles. And their offense is cranked up and ready to go.
Well, they got some fire. They got some life because the line's blocking. The backs are running. And I don't know what Ray Rhodes said to these guys on the sideline. I'm sure it was semi-inspirational, semi-threat, and a lot of reality. But these guys are doing it right now.
At the San Diego 34-yard line, first down Philadelphia. Chargers are up 27-14. Cunningham had to wait on the snap. He had already started to step back. He hands off to Garner. Reuben Davis with the tackle for the Chargers at the 32. Second down and 8. A check of the clock. We're moving on the 4-minute mark. Time remaining in the third quarter.
Ricky Watters back into the game for Charlie Garner, and this is a perfect situation for this type of a running back like Watters. He's a pretty good size guy. Remember the hands and all the receptions he's had as a professional. Great situation. Get back the ball, let him run with it, and get your first down.
He drills this one, a leaping grab by Fred Barnett. Another first down for the Eagles just inside the 20-yard line. Sean Gale makes the tackle.
Just a good stand-up, take the snap, and fire it. Look at the inside he takes on Harper. Quick move, quicker slip, nobody there. Sean Gale gets him, but that's timing, that's confidence, and that's now 3 catches for 19 yards and a touchdown for Barnett.
First down at 10, 20-yard line. Cunningham to throw. Goes deep and overthrows his intended receiver. It'll be second and 10 back at the 20-yard line. Calvin Williams was the intended receiver. You go back to the first half of the ball game with 13 minutes to go in the first half. The Eagles were up 14-7. The Chargers since then have scored 20 unanswered points, and the Eagles are trying to answer them now.
Yeah, that's right, Charlie. The Eagles are trying to do it, but Cunningham on that play needed that touch you saw from Stan Humphries. He tried to just fire that thing in there. He had 6 points to Williams. He did not in that case have the touch and the finesse to complete that for a touchdown.
Second and 10. Here's the draw. It's Ricky Watters. Watters has the opening, spins at the 10, drives inside the 5 to the 2-yard line, and he wants the crowd with him. 18 yards on the play.
And just a case right there of Ricky Watters exploiting a hole. Guy McIntyre with a fine block on Mims. Now it's speed, it's power, and it's strength from Ricky Watters. You know, a guy that they moved the wide receiver at Notre Dame, came to the 49ers, got hurt. People had a lot of real questions about his physical abilities and his physical toughness. No one's ever doubted his enthusiasm.
He has rushed for 70 yards in the ball game. And here's Watters, and this time he stopped. He tries the right side, and the Chargers were waiting in the wings for him, led by Chris Mills.
Well, you know, Charlie, waiting in the wings is one thing, but when they're waiting in your backfield, that can be a severe problem.
That's your right wing.
That's your back wing.
That's your broken wing.
We got you in the tail wing on that one, Ricky, because you had way too much company. Good defense by the Chargers, but remember the added slants, those little quick passes inside in these situations out of this style of an offense. You get little swing passes to the running back and quick slants to the wide receivers, as usually the guy in motion is the key receiver.
Second down, goal to go. Cunningham rolls right. He throws, drills a touchdown. Ed West, the tight end, has the touchdown. Cunningham now has thrown for 3.
Now watch what happens here. They're trying to run a pick on this play involving Ed West. Watch this. Ed West is lined up in the outside right. One receiver, Barnett goes out, West goes in, and we're sort of talking about lost without a clue here for the defense. A zone defense, he sits down, and no one knows where Ed West is except for Randall Cunningham.
Cunningham's reaction as the extra point is good, and the Eagles are right back in the middle of this ball game.
Well, if you want 2 people that are key for the emotion of this offense, it's Ricky Watters and Randall Cunningham. The Chargers just let Cunningham in this offense do what they really didn't want to have happen. That's give him success, give him yards on the ground running the ball, and give that man right there not only confidence in the rest of his offense, but more importantly, the rest of his offense, confidence in him.
An 80-yard touchdown drive in 8 plays, consuming just over 4 minutes on the clock. And listen to the crowd here at the vat. A standing ovation for the Eagles.
Charlie, very importantly, we saw the Chargers come out last possession and pound the ball with Natron Means. Means has not been in the game since he was hit low by Frazier. We saw him getting taped on the sideline. He was the power, and he was the attitude along with that offensive line. What did the Eagles do after that field goal? They came back with a little power and attitude of their own.
Chargers lead it now 27-21. Here's the kickoff. Ronnie Harmon, one of the upbacks, is going to take it. He takes it to the 17-yard line. He's to the 20. He kind of slide to the 25-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the return.
You know, one thing you got to do when you come to a game like this and talk about this are the other guys. You know, the other guys are the people you've seen that, you know, nobody knows. Here's Dingle, 55, just signed. What's his job? Get down and make things happen. You want job insecurity. When you're just recently signed, your head coach says, I want you in on tackles or you'll be flipping Philly cheesesteak Monday morning. That's pressure. Pressure isn't playing for $3 million. Pressure's playing for the minimum and having to make plays.
Natron Means is back in the ball game for San Diego. Humphries comes out throwing. He comes underneath the covers to Sean Jefferson. He's going to pick up around 7 yards on the play, and Humphries is down. And now he comes up limping. It'll take more than that to get him out, though. He's really a tough cookie, isn't he?
He really. If you remember the old knight from the Monty Python and the Holy Grail movie, they chop off an arm, chop off a leg, and all he kept saying was merely a flesh wound, had worse. You got to do more than give this guy a flesh wound. You got to take something off to get him out. Remember that great comeback last year when he came in and beat the Raiders and gave this team the heart it still has.
Only you would equate Humphries to the Monty Python. All right, we've got flags and whistles. And it could be a false start for the offensive line of the Chargers. Chargers have been penalized twice in the ball game for 15 yards.
87 offense before the snap.
It's on Dwayne
5
Young.
yards, still second down.
Second time that he has been tagged. He was caught earlier for holding. Third penalty against San Diego.
And that's the third time now we've seen key times in possessions, people jumping off sides. We had Ike Davis, we had Panos for the Eagles, and now you get a quick one by Young.
Second down and 8. Natron Means has a big hole up the middle. He's got the first down. He's across the 45 near the 50-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 49-yard line. 21 yards on the play. He was finally stopped by Eric Zoma, who has replaced Zordich, who has that full groin and strong safety.
Charlie, you think he's feeling better? I think he's feeling a lot better. I don't know what they put on that ankle when they taped it, but they put something on. They put a little nasty on him because he blasted that one.
That's the end of the third quarter. Chargers are up 27-21. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Start the fourth quarter. San Diego has the ball on their own 49-yard line. First down. Natron Means has rushed for 90 yards. You'll try to add to that total. You can give him a couple more to 92. Humphreys has thrown for 114. And Means carries here. Here's Randy.
Remember the power and attitude? There's 4 bodies in that circle. 2 with white jerseys, 2 with blue jerseys. Here comes the 5th body. You notice how that spot in that hole didn't get much smaller? Only thing that wasn't in that hole after he ran through it were people with white jerseys on. An excellent job by Moten and Courtney Hall, just smushing people out of the way.
The market at the 50-yard line, second down and 9. Here's Means has a hole just behind right guard. He'll go to the Eagle 47. So he picks up 3 yards on the play. It'll be third down and 6 for San Diego.
And it sets up the San Diego offense in a must-pass type situation. And that equates out now to the speed moves of the defensive ends. Fuller and Mamula coming after Stan Humphries. Look for quick, rapid pressure if Stan Humphrey gets that pressure.
San Diego's converted 3 of 9 third down opportunities. Humphries rolls left, sets and throws, knocked down. Good defensive play. Derek Frazier makes the play for the Eagles. Sean Jefferson, the intended receiver.
Oh, it's a nice job picking up the blitz by the Chargers offense. Stan Humphries rolled out to the side, and what the Eagles got on this play, they got a nice defensive play. See that left hand? You know, we talk so much about sizes and athletic ability and whatnot. It's great to see plays being made because people are technique-wise fundamentally sound. Very sound play by Frazier.
And you saw Kelvin Martin. He's set for the return. He calls for a fair catch, and he will pull it in at the 10-yard line. So the Eagles take over following the 37-yard kick. Chargers lead this one 27-21 in the fourth.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles. By Visa, official card of the NFL. And by Mobil Motor Oil. At Mobil, we've been changing oil for over 125 years.
Tech, National Football League action.
That's right. You know, your feet get hot. What do? You let that big toenail air out, and that airs out the whole back of your foot.
That's Sean Lee of the Chargers. Cunningham to throw. And we've got flag. Randall Cunningham coming into the ball game, and in the press and the television, the radio all week long here in Philadelphia and across the country, talking about the fact that he was
Ball
pulled.
start, right guard offense, 5 yards, still first down.
He was pulled early in the second quarter in the game last week, and immediately after the game was over, Ray Rhodes, the head coach, said he's going to start next week. Well, what has he done so far? He has completed 17 of 24. He was knocked down with a shoulder bruise. He's come back in the ball game, 149 yards. He has thrown for 3 touchdowns. He has done a very good job for the Eagles today.
In spite of some stupid penalties by his offensive line in front of him.
First down and 15. Here's a swing to the right side. Here's Ricky Waddle.
See, that shows good patience offensively from the coach's standpoint. You get a bad penalty, you get backed up. The first really reaction is to try to get stuff back, try to make up yards. And what John Gruden did there, the offensive coordinator, is he said, look, I'm going to take a shot to move the ball out, put Randall in a more comfortable, safer position for him to throw it.
How old is Gruden?
Gruden's 32 years old.
He looks like he's about 19. Huh? He's the youngest offensive coordinator in the league?
Oh, yes, easily.
Cunningham fires. He is on target again. Going to the 20-yard line is Calvin Williams. This is going to be close to the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Should be just shy of it. And we have a Charger down.
Terrence Shaw, the rookie cornerback, is down after this quick slant. He had the coverage on this play. That's just laying the ball in exactly where it's supposed to be. Just a nice job by Randall Cunningham. Good concentration all the way around, and actually good defensive plays. Just very, very little. When a quarterback and a wide receiver have that timing, you can really do.
And you saw Shaw, number 29, coming to the right side of the receiver, rolling underneath him. We've got an injury timeout. We'll step aside. Back in a moment. Willie Clark, number 31, replaces Terran Shaw. Now remember, it's third down, about a half a yard to go for the first down. You look for the Eagles to stay on the ground, pick up the first down, and then go right at Willie Clark.
If you have your druthers, that's where you go to the new guy. But if you have your druthers here, you go to the soft spot.
Here's a quarterback sneak by Cunningham. Remember, he just needed a foot, and he picks it up with a yard or so to spare. So it is now first down for the Eagles. We have 12:20 time remaining in the ball game. The Chargers are up 27-21.
Another player down on the field here on that little short yard. That's very unusual for anybody on a quarterback sneak like that to get banged up at all. As you see Terran Shaw re-enter the game, so Mr. Willie Clark will not be tested too soon here by the Eagles.
But then do you come back and test Terran Shaw because he was banged up a moment ago?
No, I don't think so. Actually, for the Chargers, a bigger concern for them is Reuben Davis here, number 93, down on the ground. He is a key member of the inside of that. Tons of fun, a part of the defense.
Be sure to stay with us here on NBC this afternoon. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, it is game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. And you are being for the air attack of Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Super Bowl champion, your former ball club, the 49ers. They're going to host the NFL's best young quarterback in Drew Bledsoe and the New England Patriots. Who do you like in that ball game?
I think New England's got to prove to not only everybody else, has to prove to themselves they can score. Drew Bledsoe has not thrown a touchdown in 1995. That is not a soft defense in San Francisco. And if he gets behind early, he will throw picks for 6.
So it's not a potential Super Bowl matchup now?
Not quite yet, until the New England defense really gets it together and Mr. Bledsoe starts playing more of a team game offensively.
How good are the 49ers this year?
I think they look as good as Dallas at this point, if not a little bit better.
Will they miss Dion?
Oh, they're definitely going to miss. You've got to miss a guy that's that good on the football field. Off the field, as a team morale and team unity standpoint, I don't think they miss him a lick.
What about at practice? I heard he's great at practices. And, you know, and he participates with it.
Oh, if he's like any other veteran, he rarely does. He stands on the sideline and watches. So yeah, it's easy to be good there. Okay. Here we go here. Let's take a look at how Mr. Davis gets in this situation. On the nose, working against Raleigh McKenzie. Very simple. See the left knee? The left knee gets trapped underneath Joe Panos. The young right guard comes right down on the side of that knee. Ouch.
Is that another turf injury?
Nah, that's
what happened anyway.
That's bad timing in physics. That's just a matter of getting weight on the side of a joint that's not meant to go in that direction. You could be in mud, you could be in sand, or you just happen to be on AstroTurf.
12 minutes and 21 seconds. That is the time remaining here in the ballgame.
Well, remember, Terran Shaw came back in real quick. He's back in after missing that quarterback sneak. It was more of, I think, kind of a head situation. He caught his helmet on fellow teammate Lewis Bush's thigh pads to shoulder pads right there as he went for the hit. So I don't expect him to be sort of a beacon they're going to go after at this point. If there's some place you'd want to go after and test early, it's the middle of the Chargers offense without Reuben Davis. If he is hurt severely, that is a critical blow for San Diego. He is a real pillar for that entire defense.
He has been replaced by John Perella. Play action fake. They're going deep, and they're going right after Shaw, and it's underthrown. Fred Barnett got behind Terran Shaw.
Immediately.
Woo, did they ever.
Shaw. That was just a poor case of execution there by Randall Cunningham, because he had 6 points. If he can throw that ball another 3 or 4 yards further. Gets good protection here and just does not put enough air underneath this one.
And he, in addition, puts it over the wrong shoulder, doesn't he? That's the end of it. But he was looking back over his right shoulder and had to turn to your left. And that on a deep pattern is one of the hardest things to do, because then you've got to turn around and pick up the ball again.
Yeah, from my standpoint, that's why they pay those guys so much money. Whoa, big hit by Sean Lee, the other defensive tackle, getting right in Ricky Waters' face.
For the same reason, now an update. Here's Greg Gumbel of the Big Money in New York. Go, Greg.
Thank you so much, Charlie. At Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Steve Bono gets the Chiefs back into the thick of things. 19 yards to Willie Davis, and that cuts Oakland's lead now to 17-14. the Raiders over the Chiefs. Still plenty of time in the fourth quarter. Mr. Jones.
You know, so far this year, that's been a great combination for Kansas City. Willie Davis and Steve Bono lit the Seahawks up in game one.
We're doing the same thing here. We're patting ourselves on the chest. Underneath the coverage, incomplete. Kelvin Martin, the intended receiver. So what started out with high hopes for the Eagles is sputtered for a moment. And that means that Tom Hutton will come in to kick. And guess what? He's going to kick to Andre Coleman. And in case you weren't with us earlier, Coleman on a kickoff on a punt return went 88 yards.
The key here, Charlie, the heck with distance, hang time. Got to get it up. Let your guys get underneath it so they can cover this kick.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Average hang time. And popping loose down the sideline. It is Andre Coleman again. He is having an outstanding return day.
That was way too much of a line drive kick. You know, an average hang time usually produces with a quality returner like Coleman an above average return. See that blocking? The blocking sets up inside and he goes outside. He ignores his picket fence they've got all built up for him and just goes outside and uses his speed. That was not enough hang time out of Hutton right there. That set up that return for the Chargers and put the Eagles defense in a hole against an offense from San Diego that will come out and get physical.
51 yards on the kick, 24 yards on the return at the Eagles' 48-yard line. There is nothing there for Natron, and still he manages to wiggle his way for about 2.5. For Andre Coleman in the ball game, total yardage, kickoff returns, and punt returns, 112 yards. Whoa.
You know, right there, the Chargers did something I think is significant. They brought Shannon Mitchell in, one of their big tight ends, and put him in Papunu's normal spot as a fullback. He's still in there, right there on the 50-yard line. You get that kind of girth, that 6'2", 250 is now bleed blocking. That means we're running it.
Second down and 7. Humphries fires underneath the coverage. Pass is complete at the 44-yard line. Tony Martin pulls this one in. Mark McMillan was there for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the sun is really breaking through the clouds. Finally, we're going to have sunshine this afternoon. Right now, it is shining on the San Diego Chargers.
And this is probably the critical down of this game for the Philadelphia defense. They have got to stop the Chargers here, get their offense a chance to get the ball back. Points on the board is certain death for Philadelphia.
Third down and 5. A quick out is dropped. Tony Martin. Martin was looking around before he caught the ball.
Well, Charlie, if you can't play real good defense, why not count on the offense playing real bad offense? This is good execution up until the very last minute. A little screen set up, and most receivers catch much better with their hands than they do when the ball bounces off their chest. But Mr. Martin's ball, that ball bounced off the hands, the leg, the knee, the ground.
And here's another Mr. Martin, Kelvin Martin of the Eagles. Oh, this one is hanging high. He is a return man, but he's going to reach in the end zone. Meanwhile, downfield, Tony Martin, I believe, takes out one of the officials, one of the touchbacks. Oh, there was a collision at the goal line. And one of the officials went down. He's all right. 43 yards of the kick. Back in a moment. The report on Reuben Davis' sprained left knee is going in for x-rays. 9:40 time remaining in the ballgame. Eagles first down at their own 20-yard line. And they open on the ground. There's nothing there. Jumping to the backside and then trying to find an opening is Charlie Garner. And he's a tough little ball player. You know, that's the second and third effort, and he manages to pick up maybe 3 yards on the play. He's rushed for 47 yards in 10 carries, obviously a 4.7-yard average. I gave some return yardage a minute ago for Andre Coleman of the San Diego Chargers. I was way under the numbers. Total punt return yardage and kickoff return yardage combined 208 yards combined. 208 yards. That's more impressive than 112. Cunningham slips away from a would-be sack and goes down to the 25-yard line.
This is an opportunity, Charlie. You mentioned the would-be sack, and this is an opportunity for Leslie O'Neal working against the rookie Barrett Brooks. to take over a football game that's close and critical for his San Diego Chargers. 91 right there, working against 76. That's just a mismatch. That's experience, strength, and speed really dominating in a one-on-one matchup by a young guy that at this point is guessing. All pros and Pro Bowlers take over football games at this point.
3rd down and 5. Cunningham throws right flat. Pass is complete. He drills it to his receiver with a Charger hanging all over. Rob Carpenter throws it in, and Willie Clark was there but never turned around.
That looked like one of those, your basic, gee, look what I got. Inside receiver is right at his 81. We got a pick working on the outside, a quick slip. And I mean, it's just a nice offensive play. That's the way John Gruden, the offensive coordinator, saw Mike Holmgren draw it up in Green Bay, and Holmgren saw it drawn up that way because Bill Walsh drew it up that way in San Francisco. And
it draws 10 yards to the 35-yard line. 1st down. Cunningham looks left, and it's knocked away. O'Neal gets a piece of the action. Sean Lee was also there for San Diego.
Another staple of this offensive attack is the quick swing pass out into the flat to the running back, and here's something you can't game plan for. Not bad job by the rookie, but you know, if you can't pressure the quarterback, you do what Leslie O'Neal does in that case. You get up and you make such an obstacle to your body, he can't complete that thing, because Cunningham probably had 5 to 6 yards in his quick completion if he could have gotten it in there.
Cunningham playing with that bruised shoulder now has completed 19 of 29 for 166 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here's Ricky Waters. They string him out and they'll drop him at the line of scrimmage. And again, the man at the point of attack is Leslie O'Neal. Chris Mims was also chasing him for San Diego.
Well, watch what Leslie O'Neal does on this play. You don't have to make the tackle to be the key person. See him stretch it, working against the rookie McCrary. It stretches, it stretches. He puts it inside, and he knows what's inside. Inside is what defenders call pursuit. And the pursuit made that play, but it was set up by Leslie O'Neal.
Ricky Waters has pursued for 76 yards rushing. It's 3rd down and 10. Cunningham to throw. Sets up deep. Steps forward. Little pump plate to the outside, and then he tries to make something happen. He is nailed at the 41-yard line. The ball came loose. San Diego is going to insist that they have it, but they will not. And that's really the first time in the ball game that Cunningham has been on a freelance basis. And this is something in reality the Eagles wanted to stay out of.
Good pressure by the Chargers defensive line, making something happen. O'Neal and Lee. And you said he was trying to make something happen, Randall Cunningham. All he really made happen by the pressure that he got and stepping up and running. Good job by O'Neal. What did he make happen? He made the communication in his brain shorten out real quick.
And the crowd reaction is they just replayed on the giant vision here just what you saw at home. It is 4th down. Tom Hutton to kick. Good hang time on this one. Coleman is going to call for a fair catch. It will take an Eagles bounce though, and then they touch it and it goes into the end zone for the touchback. They had a chance to down it inside of the 5, and they couldn't keep it out of the end zone. 58 yards on the kick. We've got a timeout. The Chargers have the lead. We'll be back in a moment.
The Eagles had a golden opportunity to pin the Chargers back here. See, that's Jimmy Johnson getting the ball, trying to throw it back. That's a matter of being aggressive, guys. But you know what? You got to also be smart. You did your job. You know, Hutton did his part of the equation. The coverage team again pulls a dumb move.
1st down, San Diego. Here's Natron. He's got 5 yards. He's got 10, 15 out there around the 40-yard line. So Natron Means now, as he rushes for 17, has rushed for 114 yards in the ballgame and 63 after the first hit.
And I don't know how many yards he gets before he gets that first hit. Here, look at this. You know, 5. That wasn't a hit. That was a grope. I mean, that was unbelievable. That's just a good physical job and game planning by the Chargers. They have an opportunity here to take this thing over just by sheer force.
1st down, San Diego, 39-yard line. Quick out, Tony Martin knocked away.
William Fuller working against Stan Brock. Knocked that thing down. You know, we'll take a look at this. This is the case where you know, offensive linemen are supposed to fire out into the defensive lineman's legs. They're trying to get those hands down. Brock did his part. He tried to fire out and do it, but he just couldn't get the hands down, and that's why Fuller did it. Good veteran play.
Humphreys is completed now, only 8 of 20 for 116 yards and a touchdown, but the Chargers lead it 27-21. 2 key plays for San Diego. Here is Natron right up the middle. Flag is down. He's got the first down if it holds. Normally this is offensive holding.
Yeah, this is going to be a holding penalty against the Chargers line.
The 2 big plays, in case you weren't with us. Willie Clark jarred the ball loose, and Junior Seau came up with it from 30 yards
Holding.
away. Here's the call.
Number 73 offense, 10 yards, repeat second down.
Now we'll go back and clean up on what happened here, and then I'll fill you in on the 2 big plays.
There's Isaac Davis right here, working at right guard. Crashes in. Look at the right hand. Tries to get the spin move. Andy Harmon tries to escape, and that's why they call the holding.
It is second down and 20. Ronnie Harmon is in the offensive set. Humphreys to throw. Comes over the middle. Pass is complete at the 40-yard line. He'll get 11 of the yards back as we go to New York. And Greg Gumbel for an update.
All right, thank you, Charlie. In the Astrodome in Houston, the Oilers just pulled even with the Browns, but here comes Vinny Testaverde again. 35 yards to Michael Jackson. Second touchdown pass of the afternoon for Testaverde. The Browns lead the Oilers 14-7, just about 8.5 to play in Houston. Charlie?
And Greg, here the San Diego Chargers lead the Philadelphia Eagles 27-21 with 4:44 left. Third down and 9. Humphreys throws, has a man wide open. It is Sean Jefferson. First down at the 45-yard line of the Eagles. A gain of 15 yards on the play, converting on third down and 9.
That was a job of protection for Humphreys that was just good enough, gave him just enough time to get this thing off. Why? Why is this such a nice completion? Well, when you're that lonely, the nearest player is Frazier. He's 5 yards away. You're going to get a completion when you get just enough time. The rookie Mamula was right there, but he was right there a little late.
First down and 10. Here is Natron, slips a tackle in the backfield. He has to slip a couple of tackles to end up losing a yard on the play. He cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. A check of the clock shows 3:53. That is the time remaining.
Number 1.
And the Eagles want to stop the clock with a timeout.
Well, watch William Thomas. He makes this play for Ray Rhodes and the Philadelphia Eagles. Comes off the corner, just burns in here and disrupts this play by Natron Means. Quick blitz. You know why that was so successful? That's because they've got a wide receiver, Martin, trying to block on Thomas. That's why it's so successful. Martin overran him. Thomas blitzed inside, read the formation.
Stan Humphreys not having the greatest day statistically. Natron Means has rushed for more than 100, but the key plays, Junior Seau, the fumble recovery, 30 yards, his first NFL touchdown. That was the last score with 1:16 going into halftime. San Diego taking a 3.17-14 lead. And Andre Coleman for the Chargers, an 88-yard punt return at the 13-18 mark of the third quarter that put the Chargers up by 10. Then factor in John Carney's field goals at 35 and 21. And you have the Chargers out in front by a score 27-21. Now with 3:53 left to go in the ballgame. Second and 11, and here is Natron just straight ahead as he'll go to the 41-yard line. He'll pick up about 5 on the play. Third down and 6. Kurt Gouveia with the tackle.
Well, the thing to look for right now out of this Philadelphia defense, besides the obvious here where they've called another timeout, is the fact that, hey, you've got to strip the ball. They're going to go after the ball. They've seen Natron Means put the ball one time on the ground already. Watch them go after his arms. But more importantly, from the Chargers standpoint, if you're going to try to arm tackle Natron Means, Bobby Ross has got a shot at watching his running back go an awful long way if you try to arm tackle this guy.
Chargers have only converted 4 of 12 third down opportunities. The Philadelphia Eagles have 1 timeout remaining. That Oakland-Kansas City game now tied at 17. Philadelphia is at Oakland next week. And Denver will be at San Diego, and we'll be there for that ball game. The Broncos are hosting the Washington Redskins later on this afternoon at Mile High Stadium, another sellout crowd. 3:45, that is the time remaining. It is 3rd down and 6 for the Chargers. Lonnie Harmon is in the offensive set. Harmon delays, he goes to the other side. Way underthrows the intended receiver as the Eagles had all kinds of pressure coming up front, and they may have got a hand on it.
Tomorrow morning, there are going to be 2 extremely sore San Diego Chargers. One is going to be Natron Means for all the shots he's taken running the ball, and the other one is going to be Stan Humphries, because the Eagles are putting some licks on him on a regular basis. That time they brought the blitz after him and just smacked him again.
All right, here is the punt. And it's going to go in the end zone for the touchback. So we'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. The Eagles will have the ball with exactly 3.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Be sure to stay tuned. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, it's game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. Most of you are in for the air attack. Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Super Bowl champion 49ers. They will host the NFL's best young quarterback, Drew Bledsoe, and the New England Patriots. That's all coming up next here on NBC.
I tell you, Charlie, if you're a football fan and you love watching football, you've got to watch that game. I mean, that is going to be, any way it turns out, one thing that game won't be is boring.
That's right.
You're either going to see one big offense go crazy or 2 big offenses go crazy.
27-21, Chargers lead. Here's a screen right side to Ricky Waters. Waters just stumbles across the 20, the line of scrimmage out to the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Clock continues to move. Remember, the Eagles now with only 1 timeout left. And they don't manage the clock very well offensively, do they?
Well, 3:10, you'd expect them to be in a little bit more of a sense of urgency offense, either at the line of scrimmage or right near it, so Randall can call his plays really quickly. But part of this illustrates their unfamiliarity with this offense. You can't hurry up something you're really not sure about what you're doing.
And still taking a lot of time. Now with 2:50 and counting time remaining. Cunningham to throw. Knocked away. Dwayne Harper.
Nice play by Dwayne Harper because, yeah, I mean, Randall Cunningham, as much time as he had back there in this offense, you got to figure there's going to be a hole in a receiver in the zone. And that play by Harper right there was just a show of more of that technique and ability you refer to as closing on the ball. As Dave Adolph, you saw there, the defensive coordinator, loves to stress that with all the defensive backs.
Eagles have converted only 5 of 13 third down opportunities. 3rd and 7. Cunningham has pressure, rolls to his right, flag is down, incomplete. But there was a flag on the play. If it is holding against the Eagles, of course, it will be refused by San Diego. It would be 4th down for Philadelphia and force them to punt. Now with 2:37 left to go in the ballgame, and the Chargers up by 6.
I think it's going to be against the big guy playing at right tackle, Antone Davis, who's been in for Lester Holmes.
Gordon McCarter, the referee this afternoon.
Holding, 78 offense, penalty decline, 4th down.
Well, that's Antone Davis working right here at the top of your screen. Check it out. Watch the matchup. What are they going to call? Slap down of the hands, grab of the front of the jersey, working against Ray Lee Johnson, and that's an easy one. Just about as easy a decision here. You're 2 minutes and 37 seconds. You're down by 6 points. You got a young offense. This isn't trying to draw them off, folks. This is going for it on
4th down and 7. Cunningham throws, pass is complete. It will not pick up the 1st down. Junior Seau makes the play on Fred Barnett, and San Diego holds, and they take over on downs deep in Eagles territory.
I don't like that for 2 reasons. One, you're throwing the ball to a receiver who has not gone past the 1st down marker. And if you're giving the ball to anybody who hasn't passed the 1st down marker, give it to a runner. Give it to a back. Give it to somebody with some power. Look how much power Barnett has. He catches this thing. He goes down, never has a shot. Sale gets him down easy. It was a gamble, Ray. You lost.
First down and 10, 26-yard line of the Eagles. San Diego leading by 6. And we've got whistles. Flags are flying. Clock is stopped. 2:27. That is the time remaining.
John Gruden,
Ball
offensive
start.
coordinator.
Offensive left guard, 5 yards, still first down.
Part of that decision process is, you know, with John Gruden and Ray Rhodes, is basically game planning and looking at who you
Please
throw it
reset
to.
the game clock to 2:29. 2:29 on the clock. Thank you.
A little communication there as far as the offensive coordinator talking to quarterback. You know, what was there? What were you thinking? And I'd get 86 on the phone and say, hey, you went by the first down marker when you caught it. It's just bad coordination by a group that I think right now just does not have its act together in this offense. There's plenty of things to be excited about these Philadelphia Eagles as far as a football team, their enthusiasm, but I think right now their execution is mediocre at best.
They were 86th on the play. Here's Natron Means off the left side. That penalty only the 4th of the ball game against San Diego for 25 yards. Bill Romanowski with the tackle. The Eagles have that one timeout remaining, and they'll take it right here, stopping the clock at the 2:22 mark. We're going to step aside from the vet in Philadelphia. We'll be back in a moment. Chargers by 6.
Gumble in New York. Want to remind you, this is doubleheader day here on NBC. Coming up next, Drew Bledsoe and the New England Patriots travel to San Francisco to take on Steve Young and the defending Super Bowl champion 49ers. Young will be looking to get the ball to that man, Jerry Rice. The Patriots and the 49ers, or Cincinnati and Seattle, Jacksonville and the Jets. Let's go back to Charlie and Randy in Philadelphia.
For the San Diego Chargers, 2 minutes to go for the record to be 2 victories against a lone defeat. And for the Eagles, their record would go to 1-2. Here's Ronnie Harmon and a good defensive play. Slicing through to bring him down is Eric Zomal.
That was just a nice defensive call by Ray Rhodes. His defense coming after and attacking. They know they've got a situation where they've got to get negative yardage. They've got to get the ball back. They got to do something. And when you get that kind of a play, what you're gambling on is a turnover.
And let me tell you what the Chargers are going to gamble on. This ball will be spotted at the 42-yard line. A field goal attempt of 52 yards by John Carney.
I think what they're going to do right here is going to take a 5-yard penalty if they don't call this timeout pretty quick.
Well, they may just let the clock run down and take it.
Timeout. San Diego, number 2.
So San Diego takes the timeout before the clock runs down. 1 minute and 17 seconds. That is the time remaining.
I think this is a dumb situation to kick a field goal in, Charlie, to be honest with you. Look how long this field goal is. If you get a block and it's returned, it's 7 points the other way. Why not punt it, pin back the offense with no timeouts? This offense has been inept this second half except for one drive. I believe your decision here has got to be to punt it and make the offense prove it can beat your defense, which it's only done on about a half a dozen plays for any extended period in this second half.
Well, John Carney is going to the far sideline, and meanwhile, he is not amongst those huddled at the 45-yard line. And now they break and they come back out, and Darren Bennett, the punter, comes out with them.
This is much more of a case of playing your percentages. Your percentages are much, much higher of just going ahead, punting it, and let your defense play than hoping your kicker doesn't get a 52, 53-yarder block.
This little pooch kick is going for the sideline, and it's going to be down around the 12-yard line. So a very good effort by Darren Bennett, the Australian rules kicker, 23 yards. And now we'll see again. We did not see it in the first half, but for the first time, it would be the 2-minute offense of the Eagles, because they simply shut it down with 1:16 to go in the first half.
Charlie, you heard booing in the first half. They fall on the ball and run the clock out now. You're going to see stuff being thrown on the field, not even booing.
All right, they'll start for the 12-yard line, first down. Cunningham has completed 21 of 33 for 173 yards. He has thrown for 3 touchdowns. Humphreys for San Diego, 10 of 23, 143 and a touchdown. Natron Means has rushed for 122 yards. That takes care of all the numbers. And now it's up to Cunningham and the Eagles. Steps. He's going to run. He may have been past the line of scrimmage. He was. He overthrows the intended receiver, and that is Fred Barnett. But he was past the line of scrimmage, which is the 12-yard line. Meanwhile, we have 1 minute and 1 second remaining.
That's just a case of trying to make something happen, but he was flushed out by the pass rusher, Leslie O'Neal.
That is an illegal forward pass thrown from beyond the line. When this occurs in the last 2 minutes with the offense behind and out of timeouts, that is also cause for a 10-second runoff. And ask the timekeeper to set the clock to 51 seconds. 51 on the clock.
Recent rule added by the NFL just compounds a mistake of desperation made by the offense in these situations.
And there's the game clock set at 51 seconds. Now the time remaining.
As you saw in the last play, the key matchups here for Randall Cunningham is not his wide receivers against the defensive backs of San Diego. His key matchup is keeping track of Leslie O'Neal.
That is also a loss of down penalty. And so they get you 3 different ways. It is 2nd down and 13. The penalty was assessed 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. Almost intercepted. Almost picked off by San Diego. Willie Clark was right there.
Twice. Willie Clark was right there, and Junior Seau aggressively running over to help on the play, had the ball bounce off him also.
So it will now be 3rd down and 13 yards to go. 46 seconds. Time remaining for the Eagles. The Chargers are up by 6, 27-21. Ricky Waters goes in motion. Little play action, doesn't bother anybody. Pressure from the backside. The throw up the middle to Ricky Waters is incomplete, and that will stop the clock with 42 seconds. It'll be 4th down, and obviously the Eagles will go for it here.
Well, the pressure there really came from Sean Lee on the front side of Randall Cunningham and Leslie O'Neal from the backside. Leslie O'Neal has done exactly what I talked about. The Pro Bowlers, the All-Pros, what do they do in situations in a 4th quarter when things are tight? They take over a ball game. They dominate a young, inexperienced player. And Randall Cunningham has had number 91 on the brain ever since Leslie O'Neal started doing that.
4th down opportunity for the Eagles. They tried it once before. They are 0 for 1 in 4th down opportunities. In trouble at the 1-yard line. Steps forward. Pass is complete and up the sidelines and out of bounds. And they may just have done it. They may have picked up. Kelvin Martin pulled in the pass, headed upfield. He needed to pick up about 13 yards on the play, and he has the 1st down as they convert on 4th down and 13. And now with 34 seconds left, the Eagles have a flickering of hope still in the flames of this ball game.
Well, as important as the pass protection is to Randall Cunningham, it's more important for all of us to remember the arm of Randall Cunningham. Remember the huge Big Ben bombs this guy is capable of throwing in exact these types of situations.
And he is back to throw. Has pressure, steps away, buys some time. Pump fake, has to throw underneath the coverage. And that's not going to help him at all. He goes to McCrary, the fullback. A Charger is down at the 10-yard line. And that injury is going to stop the clock with 21 seconds. That is the time remaining in the ballgame.
You know who made a great play right there?
Lee is the injured player.
Charlie, a great play. The rookie McCrary, the fullback, number 41. Got right in the official's face and pointed out, said, look, 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 we have an opponent. One of the guys is down. Got to be an injury timeout against us, or against them.
Clock to stop now with 21 seconds. That is the time remaining in the game. And remember, the Chargers' margin is 6 points. All right, stick with NBC tonight, starting at 7, 6 Central Time for the series premiere of Brotherly Love. That's followed by the premiere of Minor Adjustments. And Mad About You moves to Sunday with a 1-hour episode. It all gets started at 7, 6 Central right here on NBC. And remember to stay tuned for the second half of the doubleheader. It is really going to be a good one. We've had a good one here. It will be the New England Patriots at the San Francisco 49ers. Cunningham 23 of 38, 196 yards and 3 touchdowns. And with 21 seconds left, he's going to have a couple of more opportunities. But the Eagles still, they don't hurry up their offense. It's not a hurry up 2-minute mode yet.
Well, and like I said before, Charlie, it's not, they're not in a hurry up because they don't know what to do. I think it's more of a case they don't know how to do it. You're better off taking your time when you're not certain. You start hurrying up in an offense you really don't know that much about or don't have down. That's just 6 points the other way waiting to happen against an experienced Charger defense.
Meanwhile, the Chargers, a very workmanlike job this afternoon. Cunningham can go deep. He can put it up for 70 yards, and he does, and it is off of the hands of the intended receiver, Fred Barnett. It is incomplete. That stops the clock with 13 seconds left. Mark Montroy for the Chargers was there, number 40.
We warned you about that arm, and Bobby Ross knows about that arm.
You mentioned earlier quarterback challenge. He won it one year with a total like 77 yards.
Yeah, he can put the ball up. In that case, it was underthrown. If he lays that ball on that line 5 yards further, we're looking at a serious problem for the San Diego Chargers. In that, I think that would have been 6 points because Barnett got behind the defense.
13 seconds, time remaining. We're going to see it again. He's got to. He tries this side as he lays it up, but this time he runs into triple coverage, and Rodney Harrison has the interception. Harrison, who had 2 interceptions last week and was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, shuts down the last gasp of the Philadelphia Eagles as Cunningham was slammed to the artificial turf, now with 3 seconds left in the ballgame.
Yeah, Randall Cunningham took yet another shot from that Chargers defensive line that's been all over him here in the 4th quarter. And really, in this situation, sure, this is what he gets paid for, but a brave case in Cunningham's case here of just staying in there, throwing the ball and taking that shot and accepting the risk. Yeah, I know, yeah, he gets paid to do that. He's supposed to lead comebacks. He's supposed to be hit, but not all quarterbacks will do that. That was a good case of that.
So now with 3 seconds, don't forget, coming up next in just 3 seconds, plus, it will take us a little time to make the switch. We want to say so long and remind you the final score. And then you'll be going to Candlestick Park. The New England Patriots and the San Francisco 49ers. They get set to do battle. And this will make it official. As time has run out of the ballgame, Chargers win at 27-21. Their record goes to 2-1 for Randy Cross. I'm Charlie Jones. Glad you could be with us. So long, everybody, from the Vet in Philadelphia.